Okay, I know we're live. Um, it's going to be a bitch for me to see questions, but um, I'm going to try to see how we can make this happen. We have two viewers. I know that. Um, so let's see. I'd like to welcome everybody tuning in this afternoon to City of Impact. Welcome to the city. This is episode 7 of this show. This show has been on for quite some time. It's an experiment that I was trying to see how it was going to work out. I thought it would be positive for talent and JTV and whatnot. And I think that this is a good step going forward. So, obviously, for those that are unaware, if you're looking at the screen, my guest today is Jasolyn Havoc. Okay. So before Jasolyn Havoc comes up in here and gives you a little piece of herself, um, just want to build this thing up a little bit. Um, I'm going to need possibly some help from you, Jasolyn, because I'm not going to be able to read some comments, or I think I should be able to read some comments in my background. Yeah, I should be able to read some comments. I have a screen behind me. Don't worry about it. So momentarily, I'm going to bring Jasolyn here. Like I said, we're going to ask her some questions. But what I'm going to do, since I see we have 2 people listening and watching, I'm not going to bring Jasolyn in just yet. I'm going to give her some time so that we can be able to get more people in here tuning in live. Okay, so we're not gonna go into it just yet. We are live, but we're not gonna go into it just yet because we definitely want to be able to read comments. Okay, and I don't have my PC with me. I'm traveling, so I'm limited. So I want to be able to give the best quality possible. Okay, so we got 3 people watching now, and we're going to begin shortly. But if y'all just give me a moment, I'm gonna turn on the screen on behind me so I could be able to see live comments on YouTube. So we'll be ready to go. Okay, give me one moment. All right. I can still see I can see my mic moving. So everybody tuning in, welcome live, welcome live. Smash the like button, get ready. I've been talking to some people, man. They've been looking forward to this episode. There's a lot of excitement building up, a lot of excitement that has built up for this episode. People have been looking forward to it. And not just JTV people, but people outside the promotion as well, which is pretty dope. Been getting a lot of positive feedback from pretty much the posting of this show all over social media, all over groups. And that's always positive. We always love connecting with our fans and connecting with new fan base and also connecting with, um, other talent outside. And from the looks of it, it looks like I might be able to see comments on here, which is dope because I can see Shendon putting a double popcorn. And now we got 4 people. So we should be ready to go real soon. But I want to make sure that everything is good. Want to make sure everything is good. So I'm going to have a screen turned on behind me just in case. So we're getting that together right now. All right, let's get down to business. It's been long enough. I can see comments, so we should be good to go. We got 5 people tuning in. We'd like to welcome Shendon. We'd like to welcome Amber tuning in live. I got some paperwork right here. It was a biatch to put together because I'm not able to look at Facebook. So, and I couldn't get the app for this thing, so I got to go off of the internet browser, which is always a bitch. Now, if you know one thing about Kevin Impact is I got a potty mouth and I don't really give a damn about anybody's opinion. and that hasn't changed. I'm still the same piece of garbage I was back in the day. So we're going to get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. My guest at this time is a former JTV Women's Champion. She's been busting her ass for quite some time. This is someone who came into the pro wrestling circuit, a little bit of EFED. What's up, Nick? We got Nick Kotkin in the comment section. Shout out to him, another great talent extraordinaire in CAW. Uh, we're going to be talking to him real soon. I got something I got to announce later on. But, Jasolyn Havoc is going to be here with us. And she, of course, has been around. I've talked to several people who know her, have wrestled with her, had a good conversation with the gentleman earlier who had been involved with her previously. He could appear here in the comment section momentarily, but reached out to me earlier, told me that he ain't never seen JTB before, thought it was a cool deal, SWA guy. So shout out to him. I can't remember his name right now, but I'm going to ask Jasolyn again when she come on the show. But this is Jocelyn's episode. All the focus absolutely goes to her. She's been doing her thing for quite some time, making a name for herself in the EFED world, and finally decided to go pro, coming here to the pro wrestling circuit at JTB. And I'm more than happy to have her here. I got some questions for her from me and also from some talent alike. And we are more than happy to answer any of your questions in the comment section here. But without further ado, I would like to introduce at this time JTV pro wrestler, car pro wrestler, Jasolyn Havoc is in the building. And there she is. There she is. Oh, man. The wolves are howling. Ain't no telling what's going to happen here. Now, for the record, Jasolyn, me and her got to talk a little bit yesterday. And she told me that she had interest in coming on camera for y'all today. I said I would be fine with it. It's not forced. It's not mandatory. We don't do stuff like that here in this promotion. This promotion is about helping talent and doing the right thing. And she feels she's doing the right thing by coming on camera. She's got some things she wants to talk about. And there's definitely different things we're going to go into. I think that it would be appropriate at this point in time to show a little bit of respect for Jasolyn Havoc's pets. She's lost a few of them, not too far apart. I've lost a few pets myself in time. I'm not in a position currently where I can show pictures, Jasolyn. So if you're able to show pictures of them, feel free to put them up. But if you would like to say anything about that, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Me personally, I love animals. There's people in the comment section who absolutely love animals. In many ways, I feel animals are much better than people. I prefer being around animals more than people half the time. But before I go on, I want to give Jasolyn the mic and let her say a few things about that.
Thank you so much. God. On November 12th, I lost Wade. It was very tough for me because I had him since he was a little puppy.
Right.
He was a sweet, lovable boy, crazy boy. Like every time if we had like snow down here, he will like always go outside and he will like eat the actual like snow itself. It was just too funny and just too cute. And then I saw him like having issues like getting up and just trying to take care of him, and just seeing his eyes. His one eye was almost blind, like he can't even see in one eye, so he had to turn his head this way so he can see all of us. And my mom found out that he had tissues in one of his bones, and my mom's like, we have to put him down. There's no way we can help. So I'm started to like freaking out because like this is going to be, the end of Wade in November. Like I won't have him until Christmas.
Right.
But we have ashes of Wade. He's back at my parents' house. And yes, guys, I am in my new house. So there's that. In February 27th of this year, I lost Callan. It was tough. It was tough for me saying goodbye.
Yeah.
It was very hard because I took her to the vet not that long ago, and they found something on the lower part because I thought when she was coming out she started limping. I'm like, the hell?
This is your cat, right?
Yeah, this is my cat. This is my cat,
Yeah.
Callan.
Okay.
And I like, hey mom, there's something going on with Callan. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, she's limping like bad. She's like, okay,
Right.
let's check. So, we're checking out, and she's meowing on her right side. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
So I called the vet not that long ago, and I took her to it, to make sure everything looks okay. I thought her back leg's broken. 2 seconds later, doctor came in and they told us that she had cancer.
Oh man.
And I lost it when I heard cancer. I lost
Yeah.
too many family.
Yeah. It's a horrible topic. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was very hard. So, I came to work not that long ago. It was on like a Thursday on February. I just don't remember what day. So I got out of work this morning. I went to my house, go ahead and feed my cats. And then I went back to my house. I lay down on my bed, watching television, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then I was talking to my friends of mine in different other companies I have been in. And then 2 seconds later, I got a call from my mom. I said, "Hey mom, what's going on?" She's like, "Get over here now. There's something happened." I said, "Okay, I'm on my way." So I grabbed my roommate with me and I got in. My dad took me over where the washer and dryer is, and my dad pointed next to the washer, and I saw Callan gone.
Oh man. Wow.
She had her eyes open, her mouth was smiling, and I knew it was time because my mom took a picture of her not that long ago, and she said, "This is my last goodbye, so I'm giving you my
Right.
one last hug."
Right.
It's just hard losing two pets, but now I got Maverick, who's still alive to this day. He's the king. He was the first animal I got. Maverick was the first one of my pets
Right.
because I had Maverick, and then when I was like a little kid, I got a bunny rabbit named Cody.
Okay.
And I lost him, which I don't know what happened there, but I lost him. So now I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, how in the world can I save my pets? But the time when Callan was gone, I was like, I can't save animals. Like,
Right.
was it like a curse in my family? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Mm.
So
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to lose animals. I'm in love with my pets back home, and I've been kind of stressed out. I talked to a couple people. I don't talk about it too often, but I'm someone that I'm not afraid to show emotion. And I came up with a new saying: "Cry like a man." You know what I mean? Because everybody cries, man. Even Kevin
yeah,
Impact cries. You know what I mean? Even Kevin Impact cries. So these are things that happen when it hurts. It hurts. And
right,
I've lost a lot of pets. I'm not going to go into a big long dialogue of it. You know what I mean? But I'm not too. I don't know that I'll ever be ready to say goodbye to my pets as they're getting old. And I've had a
yeah,
hard time still, and I'm sure there's a people in the comment section that are thinking about it like, man, my pets are going to be older or getting old, and I'm not ready to say goodbye. I talked to Shen. Shen had beautiful little white cat named Casper, in kayfabe, JTV Wrestling Casper. He had to say goodbye to the little guy a little bit. And it was, I know it was hard on him. You know what I mean? Mark is in the comments talking about he lost Pat. And a lot of people are in the comment section giving you condolences from Amber to Nick Kaikan. They're all giving you, your moment for this loss. Um, it's an unfortunate thing, and cancer is one of the most serious topics to talk about. Lost an aunt to that, almost lost a sister to that. So it's
yeah,
tough. I know there's a lot of people watching or going to watch this that will sympathize with that topic as well, the cancer topic, because it's horrible. Uh, some of us have family members that are not even around or really sick dealing with things. So it just
right.
sucks. So my personal condolences to your pets, and God bless the ones that are still active, and may they live a long, fruitful life. And that's coming from Impact to you and all of us. Okay.
Thank you.
With that being said, we're gonna wipe the tears away. Um, we're definitely open to taking any comments that y'all have, any questions. We're currently open anytime, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears into our first topic. Um, you can say whatever you want to. The question will be posed, and you can answer how you want to answer and say what you would like to say. I think a lot of people would be interested in hearing a little bit about the early days of Jasolyn Havoc. The early days, maybe your childhood, maybe some school, maybe some of the things you used to watch, some of the things you like, some of the gifts you got for Christmas. What stories would you like to share with the world about the young Jasolyn Havoc coming up in the world?
Oh God. Okay. So, um, when I was like a baby, my parents always loved wrestling. Like, they will watch
Okay.
like old school wrestling, like back in 80s or 90s, wrestling from like ECW to basically whatever wrestling show was there. I grew up watching wrestling, and then my mom and dad were indie wrestling. Um
Yeah.
and I
You're third
was
generation. Third generation Jocelyn. Third generation wrestler.
yeah.
Yeah. Mom and
Um
dad wrestler. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, I grew up in the locker room with all my aunts and uncles,
Right.
and they teach me how to like know about wrestling. Like, how did they know about wrestling before anyone else. Anyways, sorry, I was like, what the hell is going on over there?
Hey, I dig the werewolf in the background. By the way, that's dope. I
Oh,
see
this
him.
one?
I see him. That's dope.
Yeah.
That is dope.
Is it?
She she
Is it
she was ready for this. She was ready
oh,
for this.
of course. Of course. Here, let me bring my big guy.
Uh
Yeah.
oh. Oh, that's
There we
cool.
go.
You can move. You can adjust it. That's dope. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you got the third generation thing. You obviously came up. Wrestling is in your blood. The werewolf just went down.
Well,
He can stay down there for a little bit. Oh, she gonna adjust him. Well, while Jasolyn Havoc's adjusting that wolf, man, make sure y'all smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Before Kevin Impact get that right hand, and it goes from left to right across your face. Lay the smackdown on your candy ass. Oh, god damn it, Mark. What is Mark saying? He's, anyways, so you got the third generation thing going on.
oh, yeah.
Wrestling is definitely in your blood. I've seen some of your mom's stuff. I think I came across on YouTube. I seen some pictures, and your mom seemed like a tough woman, like a tough wrestler. But I can also see that she was sympathetic through some of the pictures I took together, and I think it would be safe to assume that she was very loving and very caring to you and influential on the way up. Am I right?
You're actually correct. My mom will always care about me, what I've been doing in real life, and
Yeah.
trying to be prepared for anything. Um
Yeah.
but with when it came to my parents, they knew that not only they raised me like a kid, but they raised me like adult. Like they will always
Mm,
like, hey, just be prepared for this, this, and this. I said, okay.
mm. Okay.
Um, like they helped me a lot. And back to like wrestling wise, there were there was a show that was called MWO way back. Um Well, I think I was 18 years old, and I went to a wrestling show, and I took my first ever bump in
Mm.
an actual
The
ring
ring.
itself.
Oh, I've been there. I know what that feels like.
When you
Bumps.
when you take those bumps, your back's saying "fuck you, you piece of shit."
The time in the heel is interesting, man. And it makes me laugh when people say wrestling is fake. Try it. Get in a real wrestling ring, take real bumps, and you tell me wrestling is fake when you go home and you feel everything. Try it out.
That's okay. My dad did. Oh my god, my dad did indie wrestling for like 22 years.
Ouch. I could feel
Yeah.
that.
So he's been having surgeries on his arms. Not his arms, but his legs, because oh my god.
And your dad, when your dad was active and competing, what ring name did he go by?
He went by when he first started, he was starting with Stephen Blade, and then
Okay.
after he got sick and tired of the character, he went by Lex Havoc.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Um so that's why my name is actually my wrestling name
Havoc.
actually is Lex Havoc, yeah.
Right.
Um
You're carrying the family name. And that's cool.
Oh yeah.
You know what made me laugh though, that when I first signed you to JTV, I was like, the initial name that we came up with and we had agreed upon, because you and I did agree on it, but as time went on, Conscience and a bunch of other people convinced me, what am I doing? Jasolyn Havoc in JTV was actually going to go by the name Sarah Trevino. Man, that fucking sucks. That would have been terrible. Sarah Trevino would have never worked. It's like, man, you have to pay attention to talent. That's just how it works,
Right.
And
Yeah.
the more I started realizing, no, look at what she's got going on in the indie scene. She's Havoc. She's Havoc. You know what I mean? You got to let her be Jasolyn Havoc. And before I can debut you as Sarah Trevino, it was just like, no, that's not going to work, brother. You got to go with Jasolyn Havoc. And I went and deleted that. And before we brought you out at Ragnarok, it was just like, that's Jasolyn Havoc. It just worked. I just thought that was funny, me picking on myself. Um, but no, yeah, it's pretty dope that your family. I mean, it still counts. You know what I mean? If they were indie wrestlers, it count. I've had indie wrestlers in JTV, and I've had people that have family that wrestled in JTV. You know what I'm saying? You take VIP for example. Every family member he has is a celebrity. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
At least according to him. But shout out to Uncle Ruckus. But yeah, good, all in good faith. A little bit of that background, with the wrestling. Obviously, there's so much that can come out of that background, and we could probably jump back in and out of that topic with your family being in the wrestling. The name was obviously passed down. I got another question that popped into my head. What about mom? What ring name did mom utilize when she was active in her formative years?
So my mom was, oh god, I don't remember, because she was being a DJ, she was a real announcer, she
Yeah.
came as she was a manager, she been as a GM manager, and now she's a wrestler. She goes by Laura Phoenix. Um
Okay.
and I was thinking about getting a tattoo, actually, about getting like a wolf and a phoenix um for my mom and dad, because they taught me wrestling. They taught me how about wrestling, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
When the car gets fixed, I'm going back to wrestling, so I'm hoping to God I can go back to
Yeah.
training.
Right. And this, of course, is and breaking kayfabe, of course. You know what I'm saying? We're going in character, we're going out of character. That's what's fun about this channel, that we understand and we respect the integrity of professional wrestling, but at the same time, when someone is talking to you and I'm talking to you, you're getting the real deal. You know what I mean? You're not getting some floppy, cheap PG character trying to intimidate. You're getting the real deal. You're getting the character and you're getting the individual as well. You're getting the best of both worlds, and that's what makes these episodes fun to watch and good to listen to.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah.
okay, so obviously, like Nick Khan said, moms obviously wore a lot of hats, and that's obviously a part of the wrestling business, is paying your dues. You know what I mean? It's interesting that we're talking about this because AJ Styles, from what I'm understanding, had a few things to say about Logan Paul, because Logan Paul just did the social media thing and got into the wrestling. Now, granted, I think Logan Paul is an excellent professional wrestler. You know what I mean? I also think he's been cutting some pretty interesting promos. I'm not personally a big fan of Logan Paul. I really don't like him very much. I mean, I don't like a lot of the modern wrestlers very much, but that's besides the point. Don't get me started on that. But it's interesting because mom's paid her dues. So from JTV Wrestling, from all of us to your family, to mom and dad, thank you for paying your dues in the world of professional wrestling and leaving puddles of blood and pieces of your body all over the world. Shout out from us to y'all.
Thank you. Um yeah, the way Phoenix, what my mom, where she got the Phoenix from, is from Beth Phoenix.
Okay,
She
cool, cool,
always
cool.
she always loved Beth Phoenix. The day that she wrestled and doing a lot of stuff, and it was cool. It was awesome.
Okay, my mom definitely liked Beth Phoenix, and Beth Phoenix is definitely one of the goats. Uh, keeping the focus on you though, and we're going to get an opportunity to talk about this a little later. China and the Hall of Fame, you already
Oh yeah.
know. But I must ask, as we continue, as we're going through your formative years, so early on, you're coming up, you're getting bumps in the ring. Mom is wrestling, dad is wrestling. You're picking up on experiences. The psychology is building. You're a young girl, and when you're a young girl and you're introduced to the world of professional wrestling, at that age, you really absorb a lot of knowledge and information. You know what I mean? It happens to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But in this particular situation, it's always interesting when it happens with a woman, because a lot of women don't like professional wrestling. A lot of women um, would argue that professional wrestling is nothing more than just sweaty men in tights running around beating each other up, and it doesn't really interest them. If there's drama going on, they're watching, but the moment that the match starts and the bell rings, it's time to go on my phone. It's time to change the channel. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's interesting. It's interesting that you're putting it down, for the JTV women and the women of professional wrestling, holding it down for women who are actually hungry and on this talent roster in JTV, such as yourself and Amber Rocks, are the two most hungriest female talent on the roster that I see, that are really involved and really trying to excel and want to really hold that championship and hold the brass ring of the JTV women's division. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing too much fire from everybody else. Everybody else is kind of just waiting. But I see you and Amber really trying to push, and I like that. Uh, so that's what this business is about, and that's what I'm looking forward to as I get back to business in May with the stuff we got going on that I don't have to go into. I could talk about that some other time, but we're definitely going to be reinforcing things and reinventing things here in JTV, and it's going to be talent. I'm getting hit up by talent from left to right that want to sign on the dotted line. So, we're going to be doing that. I definitely want to be focusing on you out of a few, and hopefully many more. And hopefully through our actions, we'll inspire the roster to pick up the slack a little bit. No pun
Right.
intended. So with that said, um, wrestling seemed to have been a big part of your up and coming. What were there things that you really enjoyed outside of the wrestling bubble, outside of the wrestling world? You know what I mean? Was there a cartoon you like? Or before we even go to that, let me just switch back and focus on some of the inspiration, because I got some paperwork here, and uh, All Star Kid Corey Flash had a question. He wanted to know the inspiration that you have had for coming into this. So basically, um, I know China was named as an inspiration for you. Could
Oh
could
yeah.
we rest on the idea that China was the conductor for your inspiration in wrestling, and is she like your absolute favorite?
There's multiple females that I really loved, like China, Rhea Ripley, oh
Right.
god,
Well, we're talking about
uh
coming up. Rhea Ripley's current gen. We're talking about back in the day when you're coming up. China's someone that caught your eye. Who else caught your eye along with your parents?
oh, um oh my god, I don't remember. There's so many that my mom and dad always loved. Um oh
But who are
sh-
your personal inspirations? I mean, you obviously have China. Is there a few more that you can drop? These like, yeah, this person definitely had to do uh, with me getting into this and really having a passion for it. Or who did you like to watch most on the way up?
um definitely there's Lita, there's Edge,
Mm.
there's AJ Lee.
Oh, okay. Good choice. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Hopefully not the
Stephanie
Bella
McMahon.
Twins. Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna smash my head open. What
But
about Stephanie McMahon was so inspirational? I'm listening, man. What do you got for us? Uh oh, she's pulling something. Uh oh. Oh, she get Mr. Kennedy mic. Oh, put that close on the camera. That look like a oh, that's the original Stephanie McMahon from like the No Mercy time and shit. Yeah, okay.
yep.
All right. I got you. I got you. I actually did like that
So,
Stephanie McMahon back in the day, as much of a bitch she was. You know what I mean? Okay.
I mean, she got some attitudes, but hey, what can I say?
Yeah, I mean, you like what you like, and that's the beauty of this. That's what makes the world beautiful. That everybody has different opinions, different thoughts, different ideas. Because if
Oh
everybody
yeah.
thought the same, man, if everybody thought the same, we'd be living in a boring world, Jocelyn. It'll suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would.
Imagine having a conversation with someone. Hey, who's your favorite wrestler? Oh, Seth Rollins. Okay, what about you? What's your favorite wrestler? Oh, Seth Rollins. Okay, what
Oh
about you?
God,
Oh,
don't
all
get me
right.
started.
Oh man, I think my brain is bleeding. Let's just move on. Okay, so let's talk about Carl. Let's talk about our passion. Let's talk about our love. Let's talk about our love interest. CAW, Carl. I like to say CAW. Some people like to say Carl, but not me because it sounds like a fucking bird going Carl, Carl, Carl. So I don't say that bullshit. But Carl CAW is our passion, it's our love. CAW is something we made famous. Everybody that's in the comment section, and everybody from the leagues, everybody from the E-Feds, everybody that's toxic or non-toxic, everybody that's talented, we all made CAW what it is today. We are the creators of CAW. Um, let's go into that. I have some interest. This is my personal question. I have interest in venturing into your early days of getting into call. You got everything else, but how did you get into call? Explain that. How did that happen?
Um, I basically have to like figure out the story, like the backstory of it. Um, because when I first started doing EFED, when I do the call one, that's kind of oh god, that does sound a little bit awkward. Anyways,
Well, EFED, call, CAW, whatever you want to call it,
right.
virtual
Um,
wrestling.
right. I had to find like a backstory of Havoc. Um, like she grew up in Detroit with her sisters, with Sasha Bliss, Hardcore, Demon Havoc, and now I got Dragon Havoc, which that kind of backstory is kind of a little fucky today, which I gotta uh refix that one. And yes, that's my new character, Dragon
Okay.
Havoc. So, and actually, I have the actual gear of it in here.
Oh man. And while she's doing that, I like the sunglasses. Reminds me I mean, she look like she's ready to top that. What do we got here? We got a whole outfit.
All right, so
Just
this is
dragging
Dragon Havoc. This is if you
Dragon
guys don't
Havoc.
know it. Yep.
Dragon Tails Havoc. What the hell, bro? What the hell that damn thing look like Corey Flash, the damn thing. Where'd you get that?
Okay, so we went to Spirit Halloween here in Adrian, and they actually have this. And my mom's like, "Here, you want to wear this to school?" I'm like, "You're kidding! You want me to wear this to school?"
No way she did that.
Actually, I did.
Oh man.
So yeah, this is Dragon Havoc.
That's a
So
long suit,
oh, I
man.
get hot in this. I get sweaty.
You know what you should do? We should put your mom in the Hall of Fame, the JTV Hall of Fame, and you should tell her to wear that for her Hall of Fame induction speech. Oh man, let's move it along before something bad happens in this stream. Somehow I feel like somebody's sneaking up on me with a steel chair, but hey, this is what it is. So you try to get into the E-Fed world. You know, let's get down to the dynamics of it. How did it happen? Did you run into a group on Facebook? Did somebody message you? Because you said you came up with the character. You're saying you came up with the character, obviously before you came into the CAW world. But how did you enter the CAW world?
Oh God. I
As
think
far
one
as
of
you remember.
my yeah. I think one of my friends of mine came up to me and saying, "Hey, well, I think one of my friends of mine texted me saying, "Hey, we have a EFED show. We
Okay.
want you to join and see what you like." I'm like, "Okay." So I looked
Okay.
at it and um, I was like, "Okay, I can try it out. Not bad."
Mm.
And I first started not looking like this, now look like a professional person I am.
Right.
um I started off like slow because I didn't know like what kind of EFED um was going to happen. Like I was scared of my fucking life at this point. um but after the point when I got when I was almost getting used to being in it, um I know, girl, I know.
I'm popping up some comments here. I'm highlighting some of y'all, man. We're gonna have some fun on this thing. Go ahead, Jaslyn. Look,
and
look at this
then
one right here.
which one?
Let me see if I could. I'm still learning how to work this thing, but you could keep going, Jaslyn. Keep on talking. Look at this one. Oh, look like Yoshi from Super Mario. I think it looked like the All-Star kid Corey Trash. But keep talking.
Damn.
I won't chill. Shendon. I almost call him by my name. I gotta chill out. But go ahead. Look, here's
um
a question for you for later. We'll come back to it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. But you could keep going.
um and then I had like some help with some guys that knows about EFED, like how to do it and whatnot. So
Right.
they helped me out a lot. And yes, I still got this beautiful baby right here.
Wow. Look like a Bushido mask.
So
Man, that
this is how I started with Demon Havoc actually.
okay.
Um which to this day she's still here, which
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't know if
believe
you
you.
can hear her.
I think you can hear her better than we can. I want to explore a little bit of that later too, in a bit. All right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, um, I, one of my friends helped me out, and I got where I got it. When I first started, actually.
Right.
But now my name is like the whole entire social media. I mean, it's nuts.
Okay, so you was doing your thing. You started coming up in the E-Fed world. You started cutting promos. I know that because that was really your thing. The makeup, the face paint, being in character, making the videos and everything. You know, that's one of the things that eluded me to you. You know, because it was just like, okay, like this is someone who I just see potential in her to maybe do a few things in JTV, maybe more than a few things. You know, all I could do is give the opportunity. And I'm the type of promoter in CAW that my personal interest is I want to try to bring out the best in someone. I get a bad rap in CAW because people mistaken my lack of judgment or my intentions or whatnot, and they mistaken it with control and manipulation and a form of just being mean, when all I'm really trying to do is bring out the best in everyone. You know what I mean? And I hold my relationships with people in JTV and outside of JTV close, unless you, the individual, decide to change that relationship. So as you're doing your thing in CAW, you're making headlines, making waves. You've been in some weird places too. You've been in some strange places where they ask for some fucking weird shit. And if they're watching this shit right now, they probably deserve me to smash their head open with a beer. But that's for a different Ultimate Showdown. At this point in time, we're not doing no weird shit on here. This is about having fun and gaming and whatnot. And uh, what would you say, to your knowledge, when you started doing this thing? Because you've been in this industry just for quite a few years. I'm a dinosaur. I've been in this industry for years, many, many years, going back into the late 90s. With that boy right there, No Kills. We've been doing this thing for quite some time, and we were the originators of JTV. But today's regime of JTV belongs to you and Shandon, BKS, Amber, Mark, all the new stars that are holding it down now today. And that's definitely what you represent. And I'm proud of you, by the way. I want to say on camera that, because you're stepping up, and you're even making some of the guys look bad. And I love it. Absolutely love it, because you're stepping up to the plate. You're being more of a man than a lot of these other cats. I think that's comedic, but at the same time, it's real. So continuing with that, what would you say was the very first video game of WWE that you broke into CAW?
Oh God. My first video game was in 2011 SmackDown versus Raw. The actual game
SmackDown versus
itself.
Raw?
Yeah.
You said 2011?
Yeah.
Oh man, Jasolyn. Oh man. Hold up, hold up, hold up. You and Jaden is gonna have to wait, man, because I really came into the online world in SVR 2010. So you came in a year later after me. You mean to tell me you was doing your stuff in SVR 2011? So online already, you was already meeting people. Did you get to fight PvP at that time online?
Oh, I did. He was a pain. He was a pain in the ass, because you're I'm trying to push so many buttons and trying to get him down, but he will never stay down.
And who is he?
Oh God.
Where somebody you was beating up?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, hell, when I was a little kid, I went to real actual wrestling shows. I went to Old School Ring of Honor,
Oh, okay.
ROH.
Ooh. Yeah. Ring of Honor,
Um,
the original.
yeah. My dad first met the American Wolves, Davey Richard and Eddie Edwards,
Okay. I ran
and
into Eddie
then
Edwards at a TNA show. He walked right past me with his wife. I thought we was gonna go at it. I was in a different state of mind, Jocelyn. They walked past me. I kept looking at her. They were walking away, and he didn't say nothing to me. He just kept walking, and they walked into this door and just ran off. But he's very talented. I think they probably put a little bit too much hype into him, being a big deal. But he's very, very talented. Is Eddie Edwards? I'll say that about him. Sorry for interrupting.
no, you're good.
Okay.
And then I met Jim Cornette, the actual boss,
Wow.
itself.
You met Jimbo. Was he nice to you? He was cool?
Oh, he was a very cool guy.
Okay.
When I was very little. So yeah, he was very cool. And actually, I have a picture of another superstar that I met when I was a kid. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh, she's getting pictures, folks. She's getting pictures. Smash that like button. Oh,
All
she's
right.
got it right now. Look at this. Oh man, look at that. It's Buff the Stuff. Buff Daddy, Mark Bannon. So you're the one in the
Yep.
middle and mom is on the left. That's cute.
Yep.
Damn.
And you can tell I'm a mini me of her.
Yeah, that's cute. You got Buff the Stuff. I love Buff the
Yeah.
Stuff. That man is so underrated and so talented. He deserves much more respect. Man.
Oh, absolutely. And
Wow, she
then
met
I
Buff
went
the Stuff.
to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I went to a Quest Cutters game.
Yeah.
And guess who was there? The hardcore legend himself, Mick fucking Foley.
Whoa. He tried to put his sock in your mouth?
No.
Oh, okay. He must have not had a finisher store that day. He was just on passive mode and shit. You know?
Yeah.
He was on GTA.
I mean, my dad met oh god, Michelle McCool, and then Edge, and then Triple H. I mean, my dad met everyone. I met only. Oh, and I also met Jimmy Jacobs.
Okay.
Cool fucking guy.
Yeah. I believe you.
And God, who? Oh, the House of Truth. I met that guy. So, but yeah, it was amazing to meet some like superstars. So,
Okay, I got a question for you. Let's go back to this question. This is a really kind of awkward kind of question, but Jada Nix says, would Jasolyn ever team with Jada Nix in a one night to take on the team of Will Smith and Jada inside of a Rage in the Cage? Would you have interest in tag teaming with Jada Nix? It's a bit of a random match. I don't know about that one, but what do you think of that?
you see, with my character, she likes to go solo. She doesn't want to be with anyone else. She just want to go solo.
Oh damn! Rest in peace, Freak Show and Colin Klein. Y'all are in trouble. At any point in time, she gonna put a flaming bat up your ass. Damn.
Which actually.
Okay. Oh no. What have I done, Jocelyn? Don't do this. Don't you do it, damn it. Don't you do it. Conscious, look out. Yeah. My God, Jocelyn's got a bat. She's got a barbed wire bat. Oh, she look out. Look out. Lucille, give me strength. All right. Let's keep this thing going. That's a nice bat. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold that up for too long. YouTube might get the wrong idea and might try to flag and take down this video because the censors to this place is pretty stupid. Impact is breaking the fourth wall. Come on, Impact. Watch your mouth. Let's just move on before I get canceled. All right. So what else we got? You done your stuff. You've been kicking ass for quite some time. We're getting ready to go on our first hour here of the show. And we do want to thank everybody for tuning in. We hope you guys are having a lot of fun. Make sure you smash the like button and keep talking about what you want to. Jocelyn's camera's shaking. I don't know what was going on. We got an earthquake and shit, something going on. But as I'm looking at my paperwork, I want to make sure I dissect this interview as best as I can to squeeze the juice out of everything that I can. Okay, so she said she was doing her thing SCR 2010, so she's been around for quite some time. The eFed world has been around for quite some time. It actually goes back. I mean, there's stories of people that was doing eFed probably back in 2005, 2000. Since AOL been around, because there's people that used to do. It's a little cringe, but there's people that used to do eFed and wrestling in chat rooms. So they used to
Right.
have this. They used to have this practice in which they would be like, "Oh, hit suplex," and then somebody would reply by saying, "Hits DDT." So EFED, early forms of EFED go back to around that time, and you got to remember, YouTube came into existence. Uh, I think it was either early or late 2006. And it's a little interesting to me because I remember coming out of school in 2002 and going home and going on YouTube and listening to POD. But I guess I just imagined that, but I could have sworn I did. I also remember videos of Shut Your Mouth in 2002 of the video game gameplay because there was feds back then, but I guess I was wrong. But you have a lot of EFED and Call, was something that's been around for a long time. It was really newbie and kind of just really disorganized for a long, long time because when it kind of started out, a lot of people would copy a lot of stuff. This person wants to be Jeff Hardy, that person wants to be this. And these days it just seems like everybody wants to be Samoan for some particular reason. You know what I mean? I guess they must be the ones. But in any case, there's been a lot of that. People still copy shit in CW, which I think is fucking garbage. I like originality. So when JTV came into play in 2014, we slowly started progressing the industry into moving away from the repetitive newbie shit and going into sort of an edgy, innovative type of let's be ourselves. Don't be Seth
Right.
Rollins. Don't be Roman. You know what I mean? Don't be Rhea. Why don't you be yourself? We've got the King of Legends, Shendon. We got the All-Star Kid, Corey Flash. Jasolyn Havoc, Amber Rocks. You got all these characters that stand on their own and they're themselves. They're not trying to be necessarily an extension of anyone. I mean, we all are, because to a certain degree, all of us crafted our stuff from somewhere, but at the same time, be yourself. That's the message that we're trying to convey to the CAW world, to be original. So when a lot of talent came here to JTV, a lot of them didn't have face scans and shit. And I didn't like it because everybody looked the same. And I'm like, what type of JTV factory are we producing here? We're inbreds now, you know what I'm saying? Everybody family sleeping with family or some shit. So I didn't like it. So I started demanding that everybody, you have to have face scan or you got to look good. And in the cases of a Jada Nix and Shendon, not too many more could go without a scan and look good. They make it look good, but a lot of people, not so much. You know what I mean? So the face scan thing is something that definitely has helped the industry, and we've been seeing a lot of it also on Instagram and all over. It's a beautiful thing. But going back to you and moving on with what we have here, um, I got 2 pages of Jasolyn Havoc here. I got different people. I got this selfish, arrogant bastard that's being highlighted right now, promoting himself. Your Majesty. You know what I mean? He's out here. A couple other people. Um,
He won't be
so,
king anymore.
oh man, BKS, prepare yourself. She just put her cowboy hat back on. She about to stomp in your ass. She about to Red Dead in your ass. Okay, so
Damn right.
I got Chris Conscience. I got the elephant in the room, no kills. And I also have Marcus Holloway. And all 3 of them have very similar question to ask. Obviously, with the new era that's coming in to JTV of 2K25, and the intergender matches coming into play, we definitely talked about this for quite some time. And you yourself have been a proponent for quite some time on wanting to push the agenda of women in JTV wrestling competing against men in the ring. And here in JTV Wrestling, we do not discriminate against that. Why would we do that when it's professional wrestling? Why would you be scared? What are you scared of? I'm not scared of anything. So I welcome the possibilities of maybe Jasolyn could be the first ever JTV men's world heavyweight champion. Why would I not entertain that idea if she's got the guts to do it? Well, let's talk a little bit about some of that. You got the intergender. Okay, let's talk about that. How do you feel about the fact that now we're able to have intergender matches in JTV in 2K25? Give me some of that.
I mean, it's gonna feel awesome, so I can like finally put my hands on BKS. Like I know I put my hands on Red Shoes, but he deserved that, so he's a son of a bitch now.
Whoa! Shots fired. 911.
But I am very excited. They are finally putting the intergender thing in the 2K25. So thank God, thank you so much, because I have been begging and pleasing for this. So going to be prepared for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That mom, that Tyler's coming home with me, mother.
Oh my God. Oh well, damn. Okay, now we got intergender matches that are definitely going to be taking place, but some of these guys I don't know if they're nervous or if it's just curiosity peeking out, but they seem to have an interest and they seem to pose a question. And the question is dream matches. What are you seeing yourself for dream matches? Like who has your eye? Who's a male who you want to get in the ring with and beat him up? What do you got? NJTV.
Well, I know it's going to be the first start off. I'm going to teach the BKS boys a lesson.
Oh man. Mm.
And
So
Shannon,
you're
I'm surprising you're talking.
uh-oh. Wait a
I'm
minute now.
surprising you are talking,
Wait
Shannon,
a minute,
because
folks.
I knew you're probably scared
Uh-oh.
of a wolf.
Mm-mm.
And I know you're
Mm-mm.
shaking in your little tiny legs that you are so shaking of.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to get close to that world champion anytime soon.
Whoa. Threats. And she looked directly at the camera, so you know it's intended for you, King of Legends. Yes, indeed. So you have an interest in going up against BKS. I mean, oh, he's saying something. He replied to you.
I'm your biggest fan. You always like to mention. You see, you really want to start with that? You really want to go there? You see, I have my eyes on each and every single one of your BKS boys. They think they run this entire show, but the only one person that runs the show, you're looking at her.
Whoa. Okay now. Okay now. See, there seems to be some conflict here. I don't know. Different factions in JTV seem to be having issues. There seems to be a war brewing here. I don't want to foreshadow nothing, but it seems like there's something going on between the Freak Show and BKS right here, and anything is possible in JTV. But speaking of possible, Marcus Holloway has interest. Wanted to ask, could you possibly see yourself competing in the men's hardcore division? You see yourself being hardcore champion. What you got on that?
I mean, if he really wants me to be in the hardcore death match, I mean, why the hell not?
Whoa, well, that pretty much answers our question right there. You know what I mean? That is an excellent response right there. This has been a great interview thus far. As we've approached past our first hour, we continue. We're open to more questions from y'all. This has been really fun so far. I'm having a nice time. Um, we're going to switch now to a question from the beloved one of the fellow members of the Iron Misfits here in JTV Wrestling, alongside JTV World Television Champion Mark Bennon. We of course speak of Dan Rapture, and Dan Rapture poses the question of, I mean, we've already alluded to two future goals of yours, but do you have any more goals in JTV besides those things that you're aiming at? Maybe possibly even regaining back the JTV Women's Championship. What are your thoughts, Jasolyn?
Well, there's no doubt the women's champion should be rightfully with the reigning and defending undisputed JTV women's champion of all fucking time.
Well, let me ask you this: if there's nothing else to add to that, obviously JTV Women's Champion is the individual who currently holds the title. We're going to talk a little bit more about Ultimate Showdown number 5, what occurred in that cage match. But actually, I'm not even going to ask you right now. We'll come back to it. Another question. This one comes from Chris Conscience, the Third Eye. He had an interesting, intricate question, and it employs, what would be your ideal dream match if you can construct the Jasolyn Havoc match in terms of rules? We have a bloodline rules match. We had Punjabi prison match. We've had ambulance. There's been so many matches in the history of professional wrestling that have either fucking sucked or have been iconic. Elimination Chamber iconic. What would be your custom match? What would be Jasolyn's Havoc rules match? What would be yours?
Mine would be definitely a casket match, a hardcore casket match.
Whoa. So it would be 1v1, or would it be how would the match work? Would it be multiple people? How would you do it?
It's a one-on-one. So basically, that means everything's a go. No pinfall, no countouts. All you have to do is get your opponent in that casket and beat them up so bad they will bleed to death.
Okay, so you like the casket match. It seems to be your style of match. Would you add anything to the match? Say maybe weapons hanging from the side of the ring or something crazy, maybe something hanging down that you can grab, or something on the entrance. Would you add anything to the arena or anything like that? Or is it just a casket match that seems to be your style of play?
I would definitely put a lot of weapons surrounding that ring.
Right.
And you're just like grabbing one, hit him, grab another one. You just keep going.
Okay. So for another one, we got a member of another faction in JTV, Direct Deposit. You got Russ Walker, you got Johnny Franchise. Johnny Franchise is the current JTV 19. He's our version of the U.S. champion. What's the championship on 19, Shin? I forget that one. The one that Johnny Franchise has. Shin got my back. So while he's getting it together, okay, the Empire State. Okay, yeah, because I remember the Empire, Lady Liberty. Yeah, the Empire State Championship is the title he currently has, but it's besides the point. The real question is that he's asking is, what is your favorite match in and out of JTV? So what would be your favorite JTV match you've had so far, and what would be your favorite match you've had maybe in the EFED world, and against who?
My favorite match in JTV was the triple threat match. It was in a steel cage match.
Okay, the showdown. Yeah. You had Amber Rocks. Yeah, you had Amber Rocks and you had Sophia, and that's the one where you would go on to lose the championship. And we're going to talk about that match later on, like I said. Okay, so that's interesting. And it makes sense because I would have said the same thing, because when you talk about this business, I'm a professional wrestling guy. A lot of fans now are either indie wrestling fans, WWE fans, or pro wrestling fans. You don't got a lot of pro wrestling fans anymore. You either have WWE fans or you have indie fans, or you have something kind of like pro wrestling fans, a mutation, if you will. Because in professional wrestling, you know, the the Super Bowl of professional wrestling can be identified as a number of different events. For the WCW, of course, it was Starrcade. Everybody's used to WrestleMania. Oh, what's the Super Bowl of wrestling? WrestleMania. Yeah, because WWE's still around. But originally in wrestling, you had Starrcade, and you had WrestleMania, and there was more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if ECW ever got as far as to having something like a Super Bowl WrestleMania, but in JTV, our Super Bowl, our World Series is Ultimate Showdown. Ultimate Showdown is the most important event in JTV, and I mean, I do believe it was the most important night, second to your beloved handsome husband Colin Klein. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you becoming one with him is most important thing in JTV you ever accomplished. That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? Because the relationship between you and Colin Klein, I love it. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's the most important thing you've accomplished. But the second most important thing is Ultimate Showdown because that's your career. So thank you for showing myself and this promotion respect by saying that, as well as yourself. That's an excellent response. Um, and now we move to your little hubby, Colin Klein. I love how Jocelyn is just trying to be professional and keep a straight face when she wants to just laugh or smirk. But Colin Klein, right, has a question. It's a big question. Aspirations of any kind for Jocelyn Havoc potentially challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. Man, what would the world of professional wrestling and JTV be like if somehow, some way, Jocelyn walked in there, maybe even at this Ultimate Showdown, Showdown number 6, stepped in the ring with Shendon and beat his monkey ass for the World Heavyweight Championship. Man, that would be something. What do you think it would mean for women's wrestling, JTV, yourself and your career if you was to become the world champion? What do you think, Jocelyn?
All I'm going to say is, boys, be prepared to move out of my way because mommy is going to get that world title. Women, I'm going to say this. I have watched my mother face boys before. I'm not afraid of facing men. Never once. Never once. I've never been afraid. But at this moment of time, when you see me getting into that ring and showing the true women of professional wrestling, you can tell that she will do anything, what it takes to be in the wrestling ring, you know?
All right. We got a relic from your past in the comment section. I believe it's Tony Extreme or Tyler Extreme. You could
There you
correct
go.
me.
Yep.
Is it Tyler
Tyler
Extreme or
Extreme.
Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Tyler Extreme in the building. Him and me had an excellent conversation earlier. Shout out to him from SWA. Seemed like a great guy. He was actually talking to me about y'all having a showdown back in the day. Y'all gone at it, showed you a lot of respect. So I definitely want to say that. He definitely showed you a lot of love. And we even got the front man. I want to highlight this comment. He says, see next China. It looks like the Funk Man believes you could be the next China of professional wrestling. That's a lot of respect and a bold statement from the Funky Man. You know what I mean? And it's good to see him here as well. Shout out to you, Funk Man. And shout out to Devin. I seen Devin. Where's Devin at? He had that little yeet he put up somewhere. All right, he put it up somewhere. I'm trying to find it, but yeah, good stuff. It's going to be a hassle being the world champion of JTV on the men's side. It's hard, man. It's a lot of people got into this industry, got into this promotion, excuse me, and they just and they're going to come in and just be world champion. Doesn't work that way. It takes years. It takes years. Look, there go Devin right there. Drop the top podcast. Shout out to you, Yeet. Um, yeah, it's hard. Shendon will tell you himself that it took this man time coming into this promotion to become the champion. Um, and there's been different people. You know, I've tasted what it's like to be the JTV World Champion, but not like y'all. Not like y'all. My time, my era was more about, you know, planned, simulated, scripted. You know, it was about the screenplay of it. You know what I mean? I've always been a PvP player. Same with no kills. You know, we did PvP back in the day, but what y'all are doing today, incredible. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all are so talented, and I want to see fire from everybody this season. But let me go ahead and move on. Okay, now we're on the second page. I got a few dates that I want to talk to you about. One date that I want to bring to your attention is August 13th. Is this what I'm looking at? Yeah, I got correct me if I'm wrong. August 13th of 22. And if anybody's definitely going to know the date, it's going to be Shendon because it was his show. We put together, me and Shendon had a conversation, and Shendon came to me with this concept, and he says, I want to do this pay-per-view called Ragnarok. You know, and he wanted to do this pay-per-view Ragnarok. He had a point to prove. He had an agenda. It was a good concept. He had creativity behind it. It was very successful ever since it released. And it wasn't my idea. It was his idea. He came to me. He said, what if we debut Jasolyn on this pay-per-view? And I wasn't so sure that I was ready to pull the gun just yet because I'm like, I don't know. I've been saving her, for, you know, for the right time. And I said, fuck it, let's do it. Pulled the trigger, and we came up with this creative. Shendon wanted to have you come out, and I don't know, they were like two sisters in the ring or whatnot. You came out, did your thing. You know, Amanda was there, Amber was there, Sophia was there. It was a great moment that really highlighted the women's division in JTV, in my opinion. I thought it was a real special thing. But for you, it was an even more special night because it was your debut night in JTV.
Oh yeah.
What when you got that opportunity to pop up, first night in JTV after talking to me for a little bit, what was kind of going through your mind? What were you expecting going forward, and what were you feeling? Any thoughts?
I was expecting for the wolf pack that I created was going to like debut in JTV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which someday down the line that will happen. Because I really want to get my women into JTV to show to show everyone that Wolfpack is done playing games.
Okay.
We're here to fight.
I mean, you led a coalition, and you've been doing an excellent job with it over at MPW, over there with Ray and them, and the production been excellent over there. I'm impressed. I mean, me as the creative writer at JTV alongside Shendon, I mean, you have my attention. I'm impressed. You're sitting here talking to me right now for a reason. It's not just coincidence. You've got my attention. You dropped promos. You did what you had to do to get out there. And that's how you're going to be successful in JTV, not by not sharing and liking and supporting and just waiting your turn and not doing shit. It's not going to happen. You're just going to sit there and rot away. You have to get involved. And when you get involved, this is what happens. You get to talk to Kevin Impact on here. You get the spotlight, you get title shots, you get opportunities. So that's what it's all about. In terms of this wolf pack, you know what I mean? It could happen real
Uh,
soon. It could
uh,
happen real soon. This little crossover. It could happen.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
I know you. I know you would definitely love it. But before I continue, I do. It looks like Nick Kaiken has a question, so I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity to answer his question. And Nick says, "Okay, I got one related to MPW since me and Jocelyn and I knew each other from there. What are her thoughts of Nick Kaiken coming back after all the controversy in last year?" Well, I don't know. I don't know what knowledge you have of Nick Kaiken, but I would say probably just answer that question as best as you can.
Um, if I was you, Nick, just take things one step at a time. If you find someone that really pisses you off, start there. Start
Right.
start getting your opponent when you come back. Start where you want to be at. Start letting everybody know, saying, "Hey, Nick Conches maybe is somewhere out here in the arena." Start there.
Well, I think Nick is probably going to have to put those pieces together on the rest of that. Definitely have something to announce towards the end of this episode, but we're going to move along. I have another date for you. The date is September 3rd of 22. Uh,
Oh God.
I came up with this concept that I wanted to try, and in a way, and this is going to sound kind of crazy for those that know about it. Um, and I'm trying to think back because it's like I really want to forget this film a lot, but I'm sorry to say, Mark, No Holds Barred, I think it was called, with Zeus. I think Zeus was in it with Hulk Hogan. I took a piece of that and I came up with something interesting that was a lot better than that bullshit. And I came up with this thing. I wanted to do a pay-per-view that was kind of like a movie. And it was different. It was different in the sense that you have rotating cameras that you never really saw before in JTV, and you had certain cameras moving a certain way. It had a certain graphic, a certain feel to it. And I came up with the Rage in the Cage, and the Rage in the Cage was one of my favorite pay-per-views. And I decided, why not give you the opportunity since you debuted at Ragnarok? Why not put you in the ring? Gave you the opportunity to go PvP, and you get in the ring with Sophia. Now, Sophia nor you were the women's champion at the time. Y'all was just competing. You got to wrestle her in the Rage in the Cage. Any thoughts on Sophia and any thoughts on that match?
Between me and Sophia, were we were trying to get the women's division to pop. But I feel like I was the one making the women's division pop. Because I get it what Sophia really wants to do to prove herself that not only she has the skills, but she has to learn that when she wants the title, you have to defend it like
Yeah.
it's your own child.
Right. Yeah, no, I think the thing about Sophia is just that she's kind of has like that Conor McGregor approach. She doesn't care about anyone, doesn't care about the show. She just wants to show up, fight, wrestle, get the 1, 2, 3, and go home with the belt and get a payday. And that doesn't really work in JTV. You know what I mean? And JTV is, for the longest time, it's really been about tradition and working hard and proving yourself. But the culture loves to be a little toxic too. So because of that, you sort of have to balance things out. You have to give them a little bit of this and a little bit of that because people nowadays are not really satisfied. You know what I mean? So with Sophia, I think there's much more fire that we need to see from Sophia. She had fire back then. She still is kind of doing her thing in the ring, but I thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, but I feel like it was a lot of pressure on you because it was your first match in JTB, so you was going through a lot of shit to really try to get from point A to B. But
No, absolutely.
with another date, I got another date for you, October 15th of 22. And this is another big date for you was Mega Rush 127.
Oh yeah.
On this particular night, you had went and made your official Mega Rush debut, and you walked out to confront Toxic Diva. Toxic Diva was the current women's champion at the time, and she had been around for quite some time. I've known her for quite some time. She was sort of like the paper champion in 2012 for a little bit, and then more women started coming to JTV. So she was kind of like the poster child of the women's division for quite some time. What Hulk Hogan was to the WWF in the 80s, I would say. I don't know if I could give her that much credit, but I would say that, she was really the only person that came along. So she held it down for quite some time, and then here you come with your bat crushing her world. You know what I mean? So that was definitely insane because it was a hell of a confrontation. You obviously sent a message that you was coming for the belt. Any thoughts on that particular incident, and any thoughts on that night?
I mean, I will give my respect to Toxic Diva. She's been she's been awesome with doing what she does best in JTV, but the way that she wanted everything, she couldn't get it done.
Absolutely not.
But when I came to JTV, she's like, "Oh shit, I gotta step my fucking game up because this woman's, really tough."
Coming for me. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, she's a awesome. I'm gonna give her that, but she wasn't ready when I joined.
Right. I don't know that she was ever ready. I think you're giving her a lot of credit, but I think she definitely held things down while there was no challenges available. But continuing to the next episode, we go to October 22nd, 2022. We get to Mega Rush 128. Things continue to escalate. Some controversy started brewing, stuff like that did happen. Toxic Diva had more interest in just personal gain and stuff like that rather than actually caring about the division and caring about the build of it and the well-being of JTV. Started listening to the wrong people and just kind of was really in it for herself, what she can get out of it. You know what I mean? And so things kind of sped up a little bit as far as that went down because the original plan was you were going to go up against Toxic Diva at Ultimate Showdown. Those plans had to be changed because I had to do what I had to do to correct things in JTB, and it was time for Toxic Diva to go. So with this episode of Mega Rush, it was quite interesting because you got the opportunity. And going back to Rage in the Cage real quick, I mean, man, what a bummer because you come into JTV with all these aspirations and wishes to be the best and to prove yourself, and it doesn't really go your way. You know what I mean? It doesn't go your way. Sophia gets the win at the Rage in the Cage, and then we go on to Mega Rush. You go up against her, and man, she gets you again. You know what I mean? She gets you again in the singles leg crab. So that's two losses back to back. You suffer two losses back to back, but you lose your shit and you wound up attacking Toxic Diva later on in the night in the backstage area. You picked her up, you I don't want to say kidnapped her, you know what I mean? You abducted her and we didn't see her for quite some time until we found out later on that you decided to let her go. She certainly made it seem like she got away, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that that wasn't the case. I'm pretty sure she got lucky when she escaped. But it was definitely something that was building for quite some time. So I'm pretty sure there's not much to be said about that second loss to Sophia. There's frustrations, but you didn't give up. Not at all. You still had, you were still driven to become champion. You were still driven to survive. So we move along. Uh, December 17th of 22, Mega Rush 129. You come out, uh, you had your match. You had a 1v1 match with the Melee fan from I think it's My Rise or whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? Melee fan.
Yeah.
For those in the comment section, they know who I'm talking about. And I thought that that was interesting because I want to highlight not just that you put it through a table and you destroyed this poor girl, but a very interesting move that I want to talk about. Use a brain buster. You were using the brain buster for a little bit, and I want to ask about that move. I want to ask about because your move set as far as the signature move. Now, signature move when me and No Kills was coming up, it was sort of like before your finisher, but then it also became arguably your finisher. So they kind of shifted back and forth. Your finishing move, to be specific, has kind of changed a bit. You've had brain busters, you've had sort of like a fusion slam suplex kind of move, and you even had a swanton bomb. So I want to ask a little bit about it. Any particular reason that you changed the brain buster? Because I thought it was a really good looking move for you.
I thought it didn't go with my moves. I changed that up. Oh my god, I don't remember what was my new one now.
Yeah.
I had another move too. It was Feast Your Eyes. That was one of my finishing moves as well. Um it's kind of like you want to change up your moves, not going like you want to stay with your own type of moves. You just want to like try to like see what's new in it.
Right. I mean, you're exploring. You're still venturing in your career. You've been around for a few years
Oh
outside of
yeah.
JTV, and just for a few years in JTV. So you're still exploring. I was just curious. I was just wondering, because it took me time before I found my move, before I narrowed it down and went, I want to have an STO because nobody really does it besides Evil from New Japan. And I want to call it the Black Death, the Plague of Impact, the bubonic Plague of Impact. And it just worked for me. You know what I mean? Because it's what my character pertained to. So step by step, you'll be finding it. I just had thoughts about that move, and I thought people might want to ask that question. That's all. Okay, so um, with the conclusion of not necessarily with the conclusion, but after the match, Toxic Diva ran off. She had some idiot come save her. And then after that, you found yourself in a bit of a stare down with Cerberus and Gorilla Cruz, who two very talented individuals. Cerberus is the current JTV Total Champion, and Gorilla Cruz is somebody who should be a champion. Um, but they're very talented individuals. And any thoughts of any kind on any of them that you might want to say?
I mean, like I had her in the cage.
Yeah, the shark cage.
But the little
Yeah.
yeah, but the little piece of shit that had to come save her
I think you're
couldn't
giving
keep
them
his
too much credit with that, but I hear you.
but he can't keep his nose in his goddamn own business.
No, apparently not. That's his style, but I hear you. Well, I mean that's not too important. We could move on from all that. Let's
Right.
go to another date. I got. 'Cause, 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 Very, very important date. I don't know if you're getting a call of somebody else, but
But it's it's nothing too important.
okay. Okay. So this is important though. This date, May 13th, 2023, Mega Rush 130.
Oh my
I was a
god.
yeah, yeah, I see you touching your heart. I was a big fan of this Mega Rush because it was in Vegas. It was dope. There was hype. We had new graphics. It
Oh
was
yeah.
like Mega Rush was changing into something different. It was evolving, and it was dope because you got to do a few interesting things this night. I'm in the ring talking with the best version. Well, I can't say that. Let me take that back. I was in the ring, alongside fellow members of BKS at the time, and I was delivering a promo speech, and you know, it didn't mean shit because you came out, and when you came out, you confronted me. The box office head. You had a few words to say to me and BKS and yada yada yada, and in many ways, Jocelyn, I got to be honest. You're one of the reasons I'm not in BKS anymore because I said, man, she's the toughest woman. I'm gonna have to back up a bit, and I had to just consider my days in BKS. But you went out there, and I ain't never had any woman in JTV history ever confront me like that. So I knew I had to get my ass out the ring, jump in the audience real quick, and you gave your speech, and it was a great, great moment in wrestling. And I'm going to stop for a moment, give you the microphone, and let you say a few things about that. How special was that to you?
It was very special to my heart. I like I think I went to you and I was like, hey, you know, I wanna, give out, the word to you and the BKS and all the guys in the back. It's
Right,
saying, look, I'm not the one that you need, that you can't be afraid, but now you are.
right, 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 right.
And then you got sick and tired of Toxic Diva being, the only women's champion, and you gave me that opportunity to fight her for that title. And guess
Yes,
what?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Same night, later on, after she was done with me, something much more important than me happened. She went on to face that lady she just mentioned for the women's championship, and she beat her for the championship in Vegas. What a night! What a moment! What type of emotion was coursing through your veins and your body and your mind when you got that JTV Women's belt? What
It
happened there?
was it was it feel nervous, but it feels more exciting that, having a title in your hands, not only like, okay, I need to stop, have, few parties here and there, but I gotta stay focused on what's going to actually happen when my career with, the champion that I have, like, I don't know what's going on next,
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a Randy Orton situation where it was like you got the title really, really quick, and it was an unfortunate thing in a way. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean it just that after suffering two losses and struggling to kind of bounce back, getting a TV win against Melee Fan, and going after Toxic Diva and whatnot to then out of nowhere, the story progresses and now you got the belt. It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that to happen. But sometimes in wrestling, that's just how things work. We were in
Right.
a situation where we really had no choice. You were given this opportunity and you were the chosen one to beat Toxic Diva for the belt. You got the
Oh,
title,
absolutely.
and I'm not ashamed of it. It was a excellent night and a great moment in JTV and call and in wrestling, and it was just great. But I think it's safe to say that you weren't necessarily ready at that point in time to be the women's champion just yet. Everything just came to you so fast, and it actually came to you so fast that 105 days later, Ultimate Showdown 5, August 26, 2023, you get in the steel cage match. It got announced, big announcement. Showdown 5, Jasolyn Havoc defends the women's championship belt against Sophia and Amber Rocks. All three of y'all went to war. So much
Mm-hmm.
so that you and Amber Rocks were so distracted beating the shit out of each other that Sophia took her little itsy bitsy spider ass, climbed up the steel cage, and walked out with the belt when y'all wasn't paying attention.
She
So
was
theoretically, yeah.
she was scared. Like when she sees me, she's like, "Oh hell, fucking no!"
Well, I mean, every time she's beating you for the two first matches y'all had, it had to be by submission. So she had to take
Yeah,
the alternative. You know what I mean? So there's got to be some truth to that statement. But she was smart that night. She climbed and she looked for a way out while y'all were distracted. And all I could remember being on commentary and just, man, like y'all didn't even see her. You and Amber
right.
just kept going at it. Y'all didn't even notice she was climbing, and before you did, it was just too late. So you never really lost the women's championship fairly. It was kind of just ripped from you. You know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
like this gift. This company puts this gift on you, and then it was just like it was ripped from you. And ever since, you've been trying to fight your way back to it. So to be champion for 105 days, I mean, there's people on the roster, I mean, been champion for like 1,000 days. It's a short time. It was a short reign, and you obviously wanted to talk about that match. You wanted to talk about that situation. I'm going to give you the opportunity to say what you want to say, how you want to say it, and then I'm going to continue with the match. Go ahead.
Um. Oh God, it sucks losing the title, but I guarantee you, it somewhat felt pretty good. Um, to like focus on what you're dealing uh with me versus Amber Rocks. I love Amber. Amber can be like the coolest girl of all time, and I see her with the title someday down the line. Giving these girls an opportunity to hold a champion and not to see myself holding it for the longest time. Just giving the girls some opportunities to like, not being, the women's champion, but giving the ladies the opportunity to hold a belt that, it's time for your shine, not mine. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. Be right back, guys.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, while Jocelyn's going to step out for a moment, Um, just want to continue thanking y'all, man. You know what I mean? It means a lot. I didn't know how many people was going to be here. I didn't know what to expect. I knew we was going on early today. I knew there was potential for people to show up and tune in. I just didn't know exactly how it was going to go, and I was very nervous because before we was going to go live, I only had a few minutes left, and I'm not in a position where I can get the StreamYard app. So I had to come on here just with, the browser, which sucks because I have to be careful because if I go to any app or anything, I could lose this live stream right now. And I don't want to do that. So I had to be very careful with the shit. You know what I mean? And, so I did the best that I could. And it was stressful because all my questions were on Facebook, hidden. So I couldn't look at them. I don't have any other device with me. I'm traveling, so I had to write everything down manually. So I was panicking before we went live because I'm like, shit, I only have like 15, 14 minutes left. And I was already late because I told Jasolyn to meet me at a certain time and I was already 4 minutes late. So I'm writing everything down as quick as I can. You know what I mean? But luckily, I was able to make it. Everything went well, and Jocelyn's back with us, and we was able to figure everything out. And we wanted to show pictures and stuff like that. I'm happy she put some pictures up to show you, but I was really worried this wasn't going to work out. But at least we had good internet. At least we got good internet this time. It was a disaster last time I talked to, I think it was AJ, and then I talked to the three-way deadlock. That was tough, man. But we got Jasolyn back. Mike is all yours. You got Amber Ross giving you some love. Y'all giving love to each other. I love to see that. The mic is all yours. Say you can continue talking about that showdown match. Go ahead, Jasolyn.
I mean, with Amber and I, we wanted to prove to the men that, like, we're not, we're serious, but you boys decide we are not serious enough. I want to give Amber the shine because she earned it. Like, she will give you guys the opportunity, or she will give you, hey, you want to fight? Let's fight. You want to go? Let's go. Like, she will, enough talking, get in the ring,
Yeah, I see. I put Mr. Tyler's comment up. He said when he faced Havoc, she beat my ass. We faced several times. All the respect for Havoc. Man, that's nice. That is nice. Let me round of applause to all of y'all real quick. That is sweet. Great comment. Thanks for the love. Love to see it.
And I just wanna say something for all of you guys. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Without me here, this wouldn't happen. But at least you guys give me the respect and the courage, and with all due respect, I just want to say thank you guys so fucking much from the bottom of my heart. Because with me dealing with personal stuff, working all the time, and dealing with my family stuff, but I just want to say thank you guys so much. Oh.
All right.
I think he's doing. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here. I had to readjust myself in the background, but I'm good. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I've been doing a lot as far as I could to unite people in CAW. I'm not in CAW to. Nah, I broke something in the background, Shendon, but it's none of your goddamn business. I'll fix it later. Well, if you really want to know what that sound was, since you're so goddamn nosy, sometimes I'm the Incredible Hulk and I don't know my own strength. So this refrigerator that I had was kind of stuck. I pulled it and I actually ripped the fucking door off. That's what that sound was. So I had to find something to push against it. So now I have to figure out how to fix it in a bit. So yeah, I ripped the door off of a fridge just now. That's what that was. And I had to find something quickly to put against it while we're live. But I'm here. I was trying to get me son a drink, but I heard everything said. All right, go fuck yourself, Shendon. Anyways, yeah, I've been trying to do what I can to sort of bring everybody together in CAW. I've been trying for a very, very long time. Fortunately, not everybody that comes to JTV is their interest at heart is not always JTV. Their interest is drama or something personal or trying to get laid or just being nosy, or stabbing you behind your back because it's raining outside. Like, they find the dumbest reasons, you know what I mean? I never got into this for any of that. I got into this because I wanted to make an impact to the world. I wanted to have a wrestling show, tell stories, and I want to drive people to better versions of themselves. Speaking of all that, one of the things that is important why we're here in JTV, in JTV, of course, we're larger than life superstars. We're characters. We're invincible. But IRL, it's not the same. The truth is that in IRL, some of us are dealing with a lot of shit. And this is our escape. This is our art form. This is our passion. A lot of people don't come here for that, man. You know, a lot of people do this CAW stuff because they're trying to just entertain themselves, get away from something. They're dealing with stuff, you know what I mean? And I understand that. And that's the reason why I try to learn and work with people and be thoughtful rather than judgmental, you know, and that's always been the case. It don't matter what your gender is, your sexual preference, your race, what you believe in religiously. I don't give a damn. If you're someone that's dope and cool and I, you know, and you respect me, I respect you. We work together. We do our thing. That's just what it is. Um, so this is a beautiful thing that we get to come on here and show love to each other like this. We get to have fun and make memories and create history. That's why we're here. I'm trying to push JTV harder than I ever had this year, not because I'm going to be a Hitler. You know, I don't even know if I can say that word on here, a controlling evil bastard or anything like that. I'm trying to push JTV this year because I want the absolute best. And we don't know how much longer JTV is going to be around. So we have to appreciate it, have fun while we still can. If you want to say something about that, what's this? Jasolyn versus Skylar Rose. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. Jasolyn versus Amber at Showdown. Jasolyn versus Nick Kai Ken. What the hell? Um, we got a few more questions, a few more things to talk about. But let's keep the ball going while y'all keep putting anybody that puts something interesting in the comment section, I'm going to highlight it. So be my guest, put something interesting up there and I will highlight it. But let's see here. Man, Ultimate Showdown was a big deal. I think this past Ultimate Showdown 5 is possibly the greatest showdown of all time. I had a lot of fun. It was good to be in Soldier Field in Chicago, you know, sold out crowd, bunch of celebrities, a bunch of different stuff went on. It was crazy, and I'm looking forward to Ultimate Showdown 6 and 2K25. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. I got some news on that real soon, but I'm not going to spoil. But speaking of spoiling, I feel like Pumpkin Night 2022, we were kind of spoiled a little bit because I grabbed my paperwork and I wrote a match down for Halloween. And the match was Jasolyn Havoc, Amber Rocks versus Sophia Esposito and Ari. That is a dream match. And I didn't realize that I'd never done Amber Rocks versus Ari. I've never done that match. I could have sworn I did back in the day, but I didn't realize Amber came after Ari wasn't around anymore. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? So I had to run that back at this other Pumpkin Night, but I definitely had to tease a little bit. So I wanted to tease with this wrestling match. I thought it would be a good idea. We were in this modded arena. It was dope. It was incredible. Not everybody had the best experience with that arena, but it definitely was a good show and it made for an excellent visual. So that was a very important tag team match in your career for a fact. Y'all went at it. You and Ari was up fighting on the second stage. She had been hiding in the stage. You went up to it, and then she hit you with something behind the curtain. Out of nowhere, Zahara comes out. I think she kicked Ari in the back or some shit like that, and eventually it led to you just getting screwed and just getting pinned.
Yeah.
But even though you got pinned, Amber Rocks, your homegirl holds it down, and you still won the damn match. You know? So you and Amber won that tag team match. Any thoughts on that match? Any thoughts on the participants?
I mean, when I told Amber was like, "Hey, girl, come here, kick their ass." And when I said that, she did it all correctly. So, oh my god, go away. Jeez Louise.
It's cool. We're getting ready to wrap up real soon as we head into the second hour, but continue, Jasolyn.
When I told Amber to go kick their ass, she's like, "I got you, girl. Go ahead and go back." And when I was going to find one of the girls, I was like, "Okay, where is she? It's too dark. I can't fucking see. And I hear like a chair or something, or like a bat or something, and I hear thunk. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And 2 seconds later, it was a fucking chair. I'm like, "You bitch."
Yeah. I think I remember her throwing it or some shit. I can't remember clearly, but I
Either
really
she
like,
throws something at me or what?
yeah, I really like the idea of her hiding behind the curtain, and then when you went to go check, she just came out of nowhere and just cheap shot at you, and then she got cheap shot. It was interesting. You know, we've been trying to test with segments like that. You know what I mean, in JTV as much as we can, and it's been going pretty good. The more we keep upgrading and learning how to produce better.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was dope. It was dope. It was dope. It was a good show. I mean, you've gotten the chance to work with Amber. You've gotten the chance to, well, actually, at this point, it was your first time tagging with Amber. You haven't really had a chance at that point to work with Amber. You tagged with her. Obviously, you're pretty much saying tagging with her was awesome. And you work with Sophia in 2 matches, but it was your first time working with Ari. What are your thoughts on working with her, and how would you say she is in the ring?
She's doing pretty good. I think she needs like a little bit more practice. On like, don't be afraid, just bring it. I think like that's like the major thing that she needs to work on. Because for me, I'm not a scary person. I'm a nice person.
Why are you lying on camera for? You lying on camera, Jasolyn. You one of the most dangerous individuals walking the planet. I would trust an ocean of piranhas before I shake your hand, Jasolyn Havoc. But go ahead and continue.
I mean, come on. I mean, in character, I'm the badass woman, but out of character, I'm not. Okay. Shut up, Jenny. You piece of shit.
Oh yeah, yep. That's why we're here. That's what this is all about. Okay. Let me see what else I got for y'all. Yeah, Pumpkin Night was dope. I agree with Marcus. Let me go ahead and put his comment back up, because I agree with that. It definitely was a good arena, was a good show, and it was an excellent match. We got the opportunity to be spoiled, like I said, that evening, that night on Halloween, because after Sophia and you was out of the match, we got to see a 1v1 between Amber and Ari, which had me fucking hype. I'm like, this is what this business is all about. And they went to war. You know what I mean? I can maybe agree with some of the things you're saying, but for me with Ari, it would be like, I think she just needs to get more involved. She needs to make herself more known in comments and be more supportive with it, and just be more active in the community with really being involved with the women's division and everybody, and just really bringing more fire in that ring. You know what I mean? Because I know how talented she is. I mean, I obviously re-signed her for that purpose because I know how talented she is. And she does have personal things going on in her life. I just hope that she can clear it up and get back and really sort of transform into the area that she needs to be on top of the world and be women's champion once again. You know what I mean? Because Amber went through that metamorphosis herself. Amber was, champion, and then it was just like she dropped for a little bit, and then she was contemplating retiring. We had conversations, 2 different games in which she was like, "Oh, I think this is going to be it," and I wasn't even sweating it, and then I guess something happened. She became interested again, and all of a sudden she started bringing fire, and she's driven to be the women's champion. So to stop Amber, I mean, shit, man, she's kind of like that GTA 5 train. You just can't stop it, no matter what you put in front of it. It's going to take a lot. It's probably going to take a mod to stop Amber, But that's a different page in a different book. As far as
Mhm.
this book is concerned, as we continue, you got the opportunity to do something else very, very special. You got the opportunity to go on the JTV Japan tour. This
Yes.
was November 4th, 2023. And you got the opportunity to finally work with Amber Rocks. Uh, and this time, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I could remember you working with Amber in Japan, but I don't
Yep.
remember. I remember it being like a 1v1 match. I don't remember it being sort of a mixed tag. You know what I mean? So for those that remember, let me know. But I remember it being a 1v1. I remember weapons being involved, and
Yep.
I remember it being a hellacious match. Um, Obviously, it ends. She gets the kick, gets the cover. Um, you've been in a bit of a funk for a little bit, but with 2K25, there's always potential for much better. You know what I mean? Um,
Yep.
how'd you feel about that Japan tour? And how'd you feel about working with Amber in a wrestling match against her?
I mean, it was awesome. Like I told Amber, like, hey, just bring it what you got. Do not, stop holding back. Just fight back. That's what I told
Right.
her. Like, don't be afraid. Just fight back. And she's like, okay, I'll try. I'm like, don't try. Just bring it. And I want Amber to have that moment, to be the women's champion because she has the potential, she has the skills, she has the mobility to saying, "Fuck you, no, this is my time."
Right. And she's definitely
And
been champion before, so she's know what it's like to be champion. She just wants it back, and I get that.
I get that too. I want the title back too, but I want
Yeah.
Amber to have that moment. I'm going to give Amber, um, you know, she needs to push herself and not let anyone push her, but let her push herself because she has it. And Amber, I know you're listening, girl, but you got this. You want to show Sophia who you are? Bring it.
Man,
Okay? Just
man, oh
bring it.
man, chemical
If you want
warfare.
me, if you want me to be in your corner, girl, fucking ask me and I will be there.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a whole lot right there. That's a whole lot right there. Speaking of a whole lot, there's some interesting comments floating around. I mean, you even got Shendon asking, even Adam Connor's here for crying out loud. Where the hell's that bastard been? But go ahead, put him on the screen. But you I don't know. I'm gonna be a bit of a bad guy here. You know what I mean? Put you on the spot. I mean, Amber got it. She been kicking ass. She been doing her shit. She's been winning matches to try to get back the title. I mean, if anybody has to get back to it, it's definitely yourself, man. You got to get back into the
Absolutely.
mix, and you got to. And when it comes to Amber, I mean, it's great if Amber does beat Sophia for the belt of Chemical Warfare. But the way I look at it, you're still gonna have to meet Amber in that range sometime at some point. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
So the idea of her getting it is fantastic. It's great support, but sooner or later there's going to be a conflict here because you can't. The thing about this business is that, of course, you have groups, of course, you have factions, of course, you have tag teams, of course, you have alliances. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the best. In the game of survival, nobody ever focuses on anybody else. You try to help somebody else, but in the game of survival, you have to save yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you're falling off the side of a building with somebody else, you're not going to try to grab somebody else to save them. You have to help yourself first. You have to climb up first before you could grab someone and save them, especially if you're falling. You know what I mean? So in this instant, in this situation, I do believe Amber is going to be Sophia's lazy ass for the women's championship at Chemical Warfare. You know what I mean? With, of course, the match being uh, properly presented, and the proper contracts are signed to make it official. You know what I mean? But we obviously know, this isn't the WWE. When our fan base is not idiots. People who watch JTV are aware. They're not PG, fans who mark out to Seth Rollins or some shit. These people who watch JTV, the views that we get are for the fans that are either back from the Attitude Era or want a product that feels real and doesn't feel so PG and watered down. And that's why a lot of people are coming over here, because you get a lot of that in a lot of other promotions, but we don't got to talk about that. So, Chemical Warfare, I do believe she's going to kick her ass and get the belt. And if she does, I mean, oh my God, all of y'all are looking at Ultimate Showdown 6. You want a piece of BKS, but y'all be looking at Ultimate Showdown 6 straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, everybody's got to bring fire, and whoever's not bringing fire has to bring more. Whoever's bringing fire has to keep bringing fire, because and not just fire. You got to bring those logs. Fire not gonna keep burning if you don't got those logs on it. You know what I mean? But let's move on
Right.
as we go to our last few questions. Um, Another date for you is December 23rd, 23. This is Mega Rush. We get to the show and we find out early that a decision has been made on your part and Colin Klein. And it turns out that y'all are going to be joining up with the Freak Show. Obviously, Maverick comes into question. Maverick um, was someone who openly began speaking up against BKS, along with yourself, and basically said, he was tired, and that they were going to fight back. He tried to do what he could to get Corey Flash to join, get Corey Flash on his side. You know what I mean? But Corey Flash was busy tweeting about Charlotte Flair being the queen. So obviously he wasn't available. So we had to get other things that happened. And all of a sudden, Maverick announced that he put the offer up and y'all decided to join up with the Freak Show. There hasn't been a whole lot of heat coming from the Freak Show. Maverick has been asleep. I really don't see too much fire coming from him. I've been getting subliminal messages from him the last several days after certain announcements I put out privately and and publicly. And I don't know where the Freak Show goes from here, especially with the return of Mega Rush. I guess we'll have to see what's next for the Freak Show. But obviously, the Freak Show is a faction in JTV going back to 2012 when Lowrider, Hardcore Demon, and myself put the group together, and I had him take this clown group, if you will, and make it into something. And there's been different members and different leaders across the years, and Maverick was the current leader of the Freak Show. And, Rage in the Cage, messing with Shendon, different things went on. Different things have transpired. I love when the Freak Show came back. It was really good. But that we don't see a whole lot of Maverick, you know what I mean? And that's a downer, but Freak Show is still an iconic faction in JTV. Your thoughts on joining that faction, and do you think it's going to get any better?
What I've been seeing, and I don't think it's all I'm going to see, it's like going to be on like one show and then splitting up.
Yep.
But
Yep. I could see that. I could see that. I'm with you.
and
I'm with
like
you with that.
and like for me, like I went to my own locker room to like, you know, rethink and like, okay, so where the fuck am I going to be going if, this big show never wants to show up, you know?
Right.
I mean, there's Iron Misfits, BKS, it's with all
Quite a
the
few.
factions
Yeah.
in JTV, I was like, oh my god, where do I need to go? Like,
Right. But I mean, I think it depends. That there's people that always feel. See, part of the reason I wanted, and it took me time. Creatively, it took me time because I talked to a lot of people over the years. I talked to Shannon and whatnot, and Conscience and what, and we've discussed how we needed factions. We need factions, and I've always liked factions in wrestling because it's just more interesting. You know what I mean? I saw a post somewhere. Somebody was saying that the NWO should have just been kept Kevin Nash, X Pac, Scott Hall, and stuff like that. And I disagree with that. I absolutely disagree with that. They did an excellent job of expanding it to more people. The problem lies in the fact that they didn't utilize people the right way in that
mhm,
faction. In JTV, for the most part, creatively, I see all the factions doing pretty good. Mark Bannon has a title in the Iron Misfits. BKS has the World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I mean? Like every faction has something going on. You know, the Nick's got the C division title over at three-way deadlock. You know, like all these factions, they got something. You know, and when it comes to the freak show even has something because Maverick is talented, and he has y'all, your former women's champion. Colin Klein is the hardcore champion. That belt is currently in that faction, so it's exciting for me. It gets me hype. It gets me interested. But when it comes to this, I'm a writer. I'm an advisor. I'm a coach, but I can't do it for you. You
right.
have to do your part. You know what I mean? And Maverick told me the other day that he's been watching and he's ready to come back. And I'm not going to say when, but he told me stuff. And I don't see him watching right now. I don't see him in the comment section. You know, he might be. He might pop up right now for me saying that, but I don't know. But if the freak show is going to continue, something has to happen because it looks like they're on the verge of breaking up. And JTV is not going to wait for anybody like that. You got to bring it. Otherwise, you're going to just be swept to the side. There's been so many people in the history of JTV that were talented that are just part of the past now. And they could have been something, but they were selfish or arrogant or whatever. So that's that. So, but moving on though, uh, it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold. The very next day after this mega rush, and of course this was the Vegas one that we was talking about, I believe. Uh, December 24th, December 24th, 2023 was a very, very special date. We had our last Hall of Fame, and I want to put it out there that this current Hall of Fame, and y'all could thank Shendon, you know, yeah, some of y'all be saying he don't do shit or he's trying to tear this place apart. No, you know, I don't like that son of a bitch too much, but Shendon does his job. You know, we made a decision that the Hall of Fame, the next one is going to take place in 2K25. We're going to have a big 2K25 debut event, and it's going to be the Hall of Fame, and we're going to have the class of 24 and the class of 25. We're going to have wrestling matches, so it's going to be a big deal. That will be the 2K25 debut show for JTV, just so y'all know. But anyways, going back to this last Hall of Fame, you and Ari got the opportunity to tag team and help myself and JTV induct the iconic China into the JTV Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And if it's one thing about JTV Hall of Fame, the inductees that we put in are people that should be highlighted and make sense. I've had people come to me and say, hey, do you really think Bob Ross should go in? Of course, Bob Ross should go into the JTV Hall of Fame. He inspired pop culture back in the day. He saved probably a lot of lives with the joy of painting and everything. You know what I'm saying? Shandon put the Emir of Kuwait. That's inspiration to that culture, to that city, to that state, that country, their state over there within their country. And uh, so many people, Bugs Bunny, just the influence he had, Brendan Fraser, you know what I mean? So it's been celebrities and it's been wrestlers and it's been JTV talent, that have gone in. Me and Ray Geddes ain't the best of friends these days, but the guy deserved to go into the Hall of Fame. He'd been around for a long time. He lied about a few things back in the day, but he earned his stripes. He did his thing, and he was able to get the Stone Cold character over and transition it into the Ray Geddes character, and that's Hall of Fame worthy in my book. Former world champion, former tag team champion with me. So I give the guy props, and that's how our Hall of Fame works. Stan Lee is another one. Yes, exactly. So China goes into the Hall of Fame. Special night for you. What did this mean to you to be able to do this? Because I know you didn't get to do nothing like this in any other EFED. So how special was that?
It was very, very special to my heart. China was my favorite person of all time.
Okay.
She fight men and women, and that encouraged me to like I'll do the same thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, I don't know that China will ever truly get her flowers the way she deserved. Me and Corey was at her Hall of Fame induction for WWE. It was in Barclay, New York. We were hanging out. We ran into Alicia Fox and Great Khali's manager, not Davari, the other one, Renjin Singh or some shit. We ran into them at the bar. Alicia was cool. I really wanted to get the message that we didn't want to like creep her out of none of that shit. So we didn't run up to her to ask for any autographs. We just stood at the bar, got some Jack Daniels. And I started laughing because I'd taken a few shots. And then the bartender said, hey, do you guys want some nuts? So I looked at him, looked at Corey, and I was almost going to punch him in his jaw. But then it turns out it was just that when you go at the bar, I don't go to the bar too often. I've done some bars, but at the bar they give you some peanuts to go with the drink, So you got the Jack Daniels, you got the peanuts, and then he pulls them out, and I started just laughing, in my normal Kevin Impact self. But at the Hall of Fame induction, besides us seeing Bret the Hitman Hart get tackled by the white Bob Marley, and when that happened, by the way, I was just coming back from the bathroom. I told Corey, hey, hold my beer. I come back, I hear Bret's music, but I heard the Hart Foundation song music playing, and I walk out to the arena, and everybody started looking at me like I was a part of the show, which made me laugh. So I'm listening to the song, and Bret's coming out when Natalia gives the speech, and somebody jumps in the ring. Now, I thought he started wrestling again because there's a wrestling ring, and I had not seen anyone in wrestling do a wrestling ring at the Hall of Fame besides JTV Wrestling. JTV Wrestling is the first show that I saw have a Hall of Fame in a wrestling ring with matches. WWE didn't do that, but they had a wrestling ring in New York in my backyard in Barclay, which I've worked in that building, and I also went to that building to see the show. So I hosted a graduation there, which was dope, but that's not important. China goes in with DX. Wasn't a big fan of it. I think China needs to go in by herself, show this woman respect. You got Triple H's bum ass. I know some of y'all like Triple H, and this is where you get your little thumbs down on me and you hate me and you don't like me and all this stuff. I don't like Triple H. I respect Triple H's work. Triple H should go into the Hall of Fame when he's dead. That's just what it is. That's coming from me. You don't got to like it. Don't involve Jasolyn in that. She didn't say that. That's me. Why? Because Triple H fucked over China. He did a lot of dirt to a lot of people, and nobody really talks about that. Everybody's like, oh, Paul's so great, and Stephanie's great. They're not great people, okay? Stephanie and Triple H fucked over China, ruined her career, and then she got fired. She did not deserve that. and now she's dead. Part of that, part of their actions is why she's dead. It's not cool. As a wrestling fan, I don't accept that. So I convey that message out there. Triple H screwed a lot of people over, held a lot of people back for years. So Triple H doesn't deserve to go into the Hall of Fame. He should go in when he's dead. That's when he should go in, because a lot of people went in after they fucking died when they should have went in when they was alive. Lex Luger is going into the Hall of Fame, and everybody else is more focused on Triple H. Fuck him. Okay. Take it however you want. This is my podcast. This is my side talking. We'll get back to Jasolyn in a moment. I'm not going to rant for too long. This pertains to Jasolyn in China. Okay. It's not cool. He's a piece of shit. Triple H has been a piece of shit. He's humble now because, his old ass had a heart attack. So he's humbled. Great. I respect his work, but he's been a pile of shit. He doesn't deserve to go in while he's alive. He should be honored when he's dead. That's the correct thing to do because of what happened to China and everybody else he fucked over. Just my opinion. If you don't like it, oh well. I'm Kevin Impact. But moving on, you got China went in with DX, wasn't a fan of it. I think she should go in by herself. Period. JTV, we put her in by herself. You helped along with Ari, and it was excellent. It was a great moment, and I'm glad that we was able to put her in the Hall of Fame. First woman in the Hall of Fame, and history was made that night, and you're making history today by being the first woman on here talking to me. So kudos to you, Jasolyn Havoc. So let's continue with this shit. I got like 3 more questions, and then we'll probably run through some of these comments, and then we're going to get out of here. The next thing I want to focus on is June 29th, 2024. Last year, you made history once again by competing in JTV 19. Shendon wrote a match down on paper. He said, I want Jasolyn Havoc to tag team with Colin Klein, mixed tag team match against Amber Rocks, Dan Rapture. Excellent professional wrestling match. Y'all killed it. Hell of a showdown. It was a big moment because you don't really see a lot of women on JTV 19. So I was a big fan of that idea creatively and from a booker standpoint. You got to work, tag team with the hubby, Colin Klein. How was it tag teaming with your guy against Dan Rapture, Amber Rocks, and making history by competing on 19? What are your thoughts?
It was amazing, teaming up with Colin. I was kind of nervous teaming up, but I knew like I can control it as best as possible I can. But I knew I was gonna, get it,
You mean in terms of the match?
Yeah.
I mean, the match didn't turn out the way you wanted, but it was still a hell of a match. It was a historic night. It was historic because we don't get a lot of women on 19. Shendon told me that, and it's true. And to have a mixed tag team match, the first ever mixed tag team match ever. You've made. I'm looking at 2 pages of history that you've made. I'm proud of you. You've made so much history. You know what I mean? So if anybody's shitting on you, trying to hold you down or whatever, there's a lot you've accomplished. And that's the thing about JTV is that directly and indirectly, just by you being in matches and doing the littlest things, you can have career highlights and accomplishments. And it's a beautiful thing. A lot of wrestling and wrestling fans don't highlight that. A lot of wrestling is not going to sit there and say, hey, Taka Michinoku deserves more respect. That's one of the GOATs. Hey, we need to give more respect to Al Snow. We need to give more respect to the big boss man. They won't, because nowadays, if it's not in 1080p or 4K, nobody cares about it. And that's just how it goes. Nobody's going to have a conversation with you and say, Yushin Thunder Liger, or, they're going to talk to you about Seth Rollins and Logan Paul, and what CM Punk did, and what was that Charlotte Flair, stupid shit like that. That's not important, but it's mainstream WWE. You know what I mean? The fact that The Miz is not getting the credit that he deserves, but Charlotte Flair is presented like an 80s Hulk Hogan in the modern era, not only is it garbage, but it's fucking cringe. And that's me saying that, not Jasolyn. So that's that. Take it however you want. But yeah, just interesting. But a milestone. Congratulations to you for accomplishing it. You know what I mean? Uh, Speaking of milestones, some might argue that you've accomplished another milestone in your return to JTV. Now, this is where it gets real good. Pumpkin Night. I wanted it to be on on Halloween. It didn't quite work out. YouTube wasn't ready. So November 1st of uh, 24, we got the opportunity to be blessed with your return. You show up at Pumpkin Night. That Pumpkin Night was one of my favorite ones, along with the other one with the modded arena. And man, there was so much shit that happened that night. Adam Connor finally debuted. You know, we got some teasing from the elephant in the room. Thought he was going to walk out. He was messing with Marcus, messing with Knicks. I mean, what else we had going on? Michael Myers was up in there. You had Axel come back to BKS. I mean, there was so much shit going on. But I definitely know a lot of people didn't expect for you to pop up and put a beating on Red Shoes. And it's kind of cryptic in a way because in a subliminal way, you sort of predicted the intergender matches of 2K25 by beating the shit out of Red Shoes. And it's just interesting how 2K, WWE, you know, we do things and they do it. You know, and it's interesting. It's interesting. You know what I mean? And John Cena follows us on Twitter. So I don't know. Could Cena be snitching? And he really does follow us on Twitter. So shout out to Cena. Uh, which is pretty dope. But I don't know. It's interesting. Pumpkin Night, you come back, new theme song, a bit of an updated look. You put a beating on that boy right there. What did it feel like? What do you got to say about it?
It felt amazing, hearing the fans cheering your name. Um,
Yeah,
it felt like I was home, you know.
right. You
Um,
came back home.
I came back home, being out of the company for a while, it really hurt me so bad. Um,
Okay.
you know, dealing with, personal life, like working at Tim Hortons and, taking care of the family
Yeah.
and,
I mean,
trying
you don't
to
have
step
you
away
don't
from
have to
it.
put you don't have to put nothing personal out there, but you definitely went through a lot when you was away from JTV. We could put
Oh,
it
yeah.
there. You went through a lot of personal things, you know, and it's understandable. And it touches my heart personally to hear you say that the time away did affect you because you definitely was reaching out to me saying I'm ready or I'm going to try. You know, so I appreciate that. Put a beating on Red Shoes, bloody them, send a message to BKS. It just seems like you've been doing that for the longest time. And speaking of
Oh, yeah.
messages, you definitely had a major message, just like today, into the New Year's, January 2nd, 2025. You know, we dropped this big promo. You're in the suit, you're talking, you know, you got the nice background, everything. You caught my attention. I'm like, okay, she actually wants to be big in JTV as she's pushing, you know, message to a bunch of people, not just BKS, but including someone you've been having some issues with for a little bit now. And that's Ryan Seal's wife, Skylar Rose. Skylar Rose has arrived in the pro wrestling circuit. Haven't heard too much from her. I'm still waiting on a little bit more fire, but y'all definitely got into a bit of a situation backstage. You know what I mean? Who knows the contents of what happened there? But from the looks of it, it definitely appeared like you was welcoming her to JTV, almost as if you felt disrespected by her presence, almost like she wasn't worthy enough to be in our building, in our locker room, you know? So something going on there, you know, that obviously is going to need resolve. It's not just the women's championship. It's not just BKS. It's not just Sophia or Amber or Ari, you know, or the women's division, the world heavyweight championship itself. It's also Skylar Rose. Skylar Rose has got this problem with you, and at some point in time, we're going to have to put it together and figure out how to solve it. Anything you want to say to Skylar Rose?
You know, I don't know how in the world Skylar Rose decided to follow me around, and I felt like she has a problem with me,
Right.
you know? And when I was talking to Amber about something, and Skylar Rose got, she got my attention,
Mm.
and she, I talked, after I got done talking with Amber, I went over to Skylar Rose and saying, "Hey, you got a problem with me?" She's like, "Yeah,
Mm.
I do.
Oh.
You're on my way to give the women's champion." I'm like,
Whoa.
"Excuse me?"
Mm.
So yeah, that's how I beat her ass.
Well, we definitely need to explore that more. I think we need to get you out to the arena, get some promos going, get a match scheduled at some point in time. I mean, chemical warfare is getting kind of close. I'm just having fun and going back and forth with what I can add to that pay-per-view. And that's definitely the direction we're headed in. Once we get this next gen and Mega Rush out, we're going to Chemical Warfare, and that's going to be our farewell show for 2K24. We'll transition to 25, and then we go to a Hall of Fame, and we're going to Showdown. It's a lot of big events coming up, a lot of big things that we're doing. So definitely going to be looking forward to exploring this story between yourself and Skylar Rose a lot more. Uh, but I mean, that's the end of my page right there. You know what I mean? That's the end of my page. I could scroll up a little bit to some of these comments before we let you go and close the show out. Adam Connor wants to know, same as Marcus. I saw Marcus asking, you know, a Texas death match in the future. I mean, Marcus wants, they're asking about a death match.
The regular death match, yeah.
I mean, I think that question is more directed to me rather than you. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jocelyn would have no problem being in any match, whether it's Texas
Oh
death
yeah.
match or death match of any kind. I mean, she said earlier, if you had been just came to the show, I mean, she said she likes the casket match. You know, she likes it. She loved to have some weapons in the casket match. So, I mean, it definitely resolved the problem between Blue Cane and Red Cane at Snow Showdown. So why not put Jocelyn in the casket match? As a matter of fact, I think the perfect person to fight her in the casket match should be Skylar Rose. Maybe then the problem will be solved. You know what I mean? That might work too. That might work too. Let's see what other questions y'all got. You got inducted in JTV Hall of Fame, Kevin. I think Fun Man talking about me going into the Hall of Fame this year. I appreciate it, Fun Man, if that's what you're saying. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Me in the Hall of Fame, I don't know. You know, time will tell. What other questions? If y'all got any other questions, please feel free to ask. What is this? What faction would Jocelyn join if she needed to pick? Freak Show, Iron Misfits, BCast, The Skull, Ganghood, Three-Way Deadlock, Seal Family, or making your own? What do you make of that question?
I think I got my own faction. Which y'all know I talked about my family, the Wolfpack.
Right. She got her own faction going on. For those that haven't been watching MPW, definitely check it out. She's trying to get this faction to jump over to BKS. I think there's a time and place for everything. Let's see if there are any other questions popping up. He's talking. Shendon suggests Rage in the Cage, Skylar Rose versus CW. Oh, at Chemical Warfare, Raging the Cage versus Skylar Rose. Yeah, I mean, I like that idea. You know what I mean? I could see y'all getting it on at Chemical Warfare, Raging the Cage. I could see that too. You know what I mean? If it was up to me, I'd make a Rage in the Cage casket match, but 2K don't
Oh
play
yeah.
like that. You know, that works for me. That works. That works. What other questions? Let's see. I'm trying to scroll up.
I don't think there's a lot of questions to ask.
Oh, there's been a lot of questions. It's just that I had a lot of questions to get to before, you know. We've been trying to answer
Right.
some of these questions. I mean, some of these questions already were answered, but some of these, uh, there's some questions still that people wanted to ask. They didn't get an opportunity to get a response. So here's another one from Shendon. He says, "What's the current goal?" Obviously, we talked about things you want to do, but currently at this time, what would be your current goal, Jasolyn? Would it be going after Skylar Rose, or do you got something else in mind?
Um, I mean, the goal is to, have fun in JTV, doing
Okay.
what I do best in the business.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you just got back. You know what I mean? You put a beating on Red Shoes. Haven't really had the opportunity to get back in the ring, actively, back to it. We're still going through transitioning into 4K, trying to get next gen back and whatnot. 19 obviously going to be coming back. I'm going to be putting my ego to the side and working with Shannon to continue to produce that and just head into Mega Rush and Chemical Warfare and all that. So it's a good response. It's a very good response. Getting ready to come back, so that's cool. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up real soon. We got some more questions here. Let's see. Adam Connor asks, "What could be expected on the next show that will be in top 10 shows in JTV history?" I mean, what can be expected from the next JTV show is I'm inviting some people to the next show. Interesting commentary, interesting moments, some surprises, excellent wrestling matches, and more built towards Mega Rush, Showdown, Chemical Warfare. Just a lot of building, a lot of fun. That's what you can expect about the next show. So that's pretty much for me. Let's see. We got Shendon asks, favorite finishing move in pro wrestling. Do you have one, John?
Uh, oh God. I think mine will be always and forever the Feast Your Eyes one because I know a lot of people have been seeing me doing that finishing move.
Yeah, and Tommy Hawkins been using that move too. Feast your
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah. We got a male version and we got a female version. And what's so special about that move?
Um it's basically you're putting the fear in your opponent.
Putting the fear in your opponent. I mean, I would imagine when you put somebody over your shoulder and drop them face first into your knee, I mean, it's Final Destination. So I agree with that. Let's see what else we got. Funkman is asking, what is your favorite matches in pro wrestling? Do you have any favorite matches in pro wrestling outside of Call?
That would be Lita versus Trish Stratus. That's like one of my favorites.
For the main event for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Man, that's an excellent choice. I'm over here thinking, oh, she's probably gonna say some shit like Seth Rollins. This man, she said Lita versus Trish. Man, that is excellent, man. Quality, elegance, and just for no kills, man. From the bottom of my heart, man. Fuck Charlotte Flair, man. She fucking trash. Get the fuck up off this shit, man. Anyway, let's see here.
Or China versus Eddie Guerrero.
Man, China and Eddie Guerrero had so much chemistry on TV.
Oh my
Damn, they
God.
had chemistry. It was all. just so entertaining. You know what I mean? So entertaining, because she was the muscle and he had the charisma. But Eddie had Eddie's a total package. Is Eddie had the charisma, but he can also wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like you'll ask people now, oh, who's like the best wrestler? They'll probably say like Seth Rollins, some dumb shit. Like, bro, Eddie Guerrero, Jushin Thunder, like there's a bunch of people that were better wrestlers. You got to look at the entirety of the wrestling. You can't just look at what's on TV now and say, oh, best wrestler of all time, Logan Paul. Stop doing that. Educate yourself. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? Smell the coffee. Step your game up. What else we got? We got more questions.
I mean, we can also talk about Edge versus Kane when Lita turned heel on Kane and then went to Edge, which that was
It was good. It was good
interesting.
TV. Yeah, it was good TV, good storyline. Um, I'm with that one. I appreciate the compliment, Shandon. Let's put that up there. Great podcast. Both killed it, making my show looking very elegant. This is your show.
Bullshit!
Oh man.
Bullshit! This
Uh,
is my show, not your show, you piece of shit!
oh yeah. Send him to the shadow round. Adam Connor asked favorite moment in JTV. I think she answered that already. I think she said it was Showdown. Was it?
Yeah,
I
the
mean, that was your
showdown.
favorite match. Is it your favorite moment and match?
Well, my favorite moment was Pumpkin Night when I return.
Good choice. I like that one.
Yeah, I always watch Pumpkin Night, and I went to one of the episodes I was in, and just seeing me just being living shit out of wet shoes.
All
Last
right.
question for me. Would
Yeah.
you smack? Yep. Oh, come on.
Last question from me says Shendon, would you smack Impact's forehead for an instant title opportunity for the women's championship? No, she won't
No.
have to do that, Shendon. She'll just go to Showdown and beat your ass for the World Heavyweight Championship and make it look
Damn
easy.
right.
All right. Let's see here what else we got. Is this Ray, best wrestler of all time? Oh, okay. We got Ray in the house. Shout out to you, Ray. He's not asking no question. He's saying his favorite wrestler is Owen Hart. I did not know that about Ray. That's interesting, but that's dope. That's dope. One of my favorites is Bret Hart, and yours is Owen. Very good. Very good. You've been doing a good job with MPW. Keep up the good work. We're getting ready to wrap up here. Any more questions for Jasolyn Havoc? Dan Rapture asked, what's your men talent you want to face this season of J? I mean, she answered that earlier, man. You're going to have to scroll back. She said a lot of people. Her main focus, as far as the men, seems to be BKS. But that doesn't mean she won't whoop your ass or Corey's ass or no kills or whomever, She'll fight anybody. You know what I mean?
Just be
All right.
ready, boys. Just be ready.
We got 17 people watching. Smash the like button. You are watching City of Impact episode number 7. As we begin to descend this plane, we are coming to the conclusion of this episode. I would like to relay the message to everyone tuning in that on the next episode of City of Impact, breaking news, my guest for episode 8 will be none other than one of the most controversial people I've come to meet outside of JTV. This is a man that MPW and Ray knows very well, Nick Kaiken. We'll be saying some interesting things on the next episode. He's got a lot he got to get off his chest about certain frustrations in CAW, and I'm going to give him the opportunity on this platform to speak his mind how he wants to without being censored, told what to do, manipulated, or backstabbed. Looking forward to Nick Kaiken coming on the next one, talking to him about his career. It has been my pleasure to have you here on this episode thus far. And maybe you can come back when you accomplish some more shit in JTV. Jasolyn, you get some more titles, beat some more asses. I'm happy to have you back here on the show to talk about it.
Great to be back. And by the way, I really want to do this so fucking bad, but
Go ahead.
I know it's probably that time anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all for watching this. But it's time to say goodbye and good night.
Well, you see that would have been excellent. You know what I mean? If we was wrapping up, but we still got some more questions. Well, we'll take one more. That was an excellent close right there, but we'll take one more. Adam Connor wants to know what's your favorite theme song of all time? How about that?
Oh, my favorite theme song.
Oh, you got
Okay.
it now, Connor. She like that one. Hold on, let me put that one up. There you go. Now you can answer it. Huh?
Oh my god. There's so many fucking theme songs I do.
That's a hard question. That's a very difficult
That
question.
is yeah. Oh god. Mine would
Hey, while she's
definitely be
oh, she got it. She got it. She got it.
yeah, I got one. Mine would definitely be Hailstorm. I think it was Scream was my favorite theme song that I used.
Okay, that's excellent because that answers that question in terms of call for people to know. But what about outside of call? What would be your favorite entrance theme?
Um, I have my own theme song. It's
Yeah, but
called the
I'm saying,
Demon.
but I'm saying though, in wrestling on television, who has out of all time, who has your favorite? Who has the best theme song that you liked? Because for me, I'm having a hard time really thinking about it because I can go to Degeneration X. I can go to Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, I could go to different names. Like who? It's going to be hard for you to narrow it down because it's hard for me to do it. So I don't know. But do you
I got
have
three.
one? You got three?
I got three.
Okay. Okay. What do you got? Give it to him.
I got Edge, Rhea, and Ember Moon.
Man, Amber Moon that's a really random one. A lot of people say Edge, a lot of people might say Rhea Ripley, but Amber Moon, and I like Amber Moon. She's talented and she's just underutilized. You know what I mean? But that's a random one. Y'all can say what y'all think in the comment section. We got another bonus question from Shendon. We're getting ready to wrap up here. And Jocelyn, at any point in time, you got to step out. You know, be my guest. I don't want to hold you, but it's been good having you. We got a bonus question from Shen. He says, "What about favorite theme song in JTV wrestling? Might you have one by chance? Have you seen a theme song in JTV that you thought, man, that's dope? Anybody that caught your attention?"
I don't think so. Because
Okay.
I've been trying to catch up on GTV.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's another one. We got No Kills, No Damage. One of my favorite corporate gamers in the game right here. This man asked, I have a question. Who in JTV's better than Seth Rollins and Logan Paul? God damn, that's like what, like 99% of the roster? I mean, shit.
Yeah.
When you look at how Seth is talented, you know, he's always been talented. All of y'all know that, even going back to Tyler Black. I didn't give a damn about Seth Rollins back in the day. I still kind of barely care about him, but he's always been a talented guy. You know, he just, you know, he was doing the corporate thing for a little bit. It was okay. I thought he was on the way up. He's beating Sting at Night of Champions and all this. And then he started doing corny shit. He was like in the Shield and stuff like that. And then you know, he really wasn't that great, but WWE Creative just kept forcing him. Oh, he's great. He's great. He's great. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. And everybody just kind of over time, they just gave up and just went with it. Because there used to be a time in WWE where it's like, if you wasn't good, you wasn't accepted. You had to be good. And that's the reason Buff Bagwell got kicked out when he wrestled Booker T on Raw back in the day. Now it doesn't work that way. Now the way fans work is WWE tells them who's good. They tell you, oh, this person is a GOAT, this person, you know, and they go with it. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a thought in their head. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But I think a lot of people are much more talented than Seth Rollins. But it
I
is what it
agree.
is,
I
man.
agree with him. I agree.
Yeah, and Logan Paul, I mean, Logan Paul's all right. I mean, he's a great wrestler. He's a pretty good talker. I've been seeing him improve a lot, but he's not too great. He's really watered down like Seth, and you don't got a lot of that in JTV. In JTV, you got a lot of people who really are a throwback to the Attitude Era or like the 2000s. Like in the 2000s, we was heading a direction where wrestling was peaking. It was peaking in 2000, and then you had the era that came after that, Ruthless Aggression. Beautiful.
Yep.
It just worked. Ruthless Aggression was an excellent era. Good TV, good general managers, the draft. Everything was just cool. It was good. It was healthy. It was strong. We would get Stone Cold as a GM. Eric Bischoff was there. You'll get legends that will come back, and when I say come back, yeah, they'll sign them for like 2 years. Scott Steiner will come back, Mick Foley, The Rock. It'll be dope. It'll be cool. Now, when they bring them back, they'll just have them in the arena waving. Hi, everybody. Or they'll be they used to do that when Vince was around. Now they'll just be in the crowd sitting there waving.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Y'all got Eric Bischoff and Ron Simmons and all these people in the building. And if they were smart, they would put them in promos with people or in the ring, not necessarily wrestling, but had them interact with different characters. But instead, they're just wasting away in the crowd. I would never do that in JTV. When all of us fucking get old, if JTV was around like in 10 years, I would bring y'all motherfuckers back and have y'all interact with the other new characters to build not just those characters, but to also show respect to the legends. They don't really do that on wrestling like that no more. Tony Khan don't know what the fuck he's doing, and Triple H just kind of whatever he does what he does, I guess. So I wouldn't say for sure that I can name like 15, 20 people that are in JTV that are better than Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, great. I got Thunderstorm here. Yay!
You said what?
I got Thunderstorms here. Demon, what are you doing in there?
Oh, we got a thunderstorm. We got special guest appearances. I think now, since we're about to go into the third hour, I say I'm gonna give this show 9 more minutes. You don't have to stay for it if you don't want to, Jasolyn, but I'm gonna keep on doing my thing. I do want to thank you for being a guest on this show, and I welcome you back. I didn't know if it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? I've been trying to get Amber and as many people as I can to come on here and talk to me. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Someone else was supposed to be on this episode, a guy, you know what I'm saying? But this person said no, they don't want to do it. They were nervous. I'm not going to say that person's name, but listen, if you're a grown ass man and you in JTV and you can't even come on City of Impact to talk, I don't know that you should be on this roster, man. Because if you're going to be that timid, this isn't the place for you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta take an opportunity, take advantage of all the opportunities presented. Whatever you can go on, City of Impact, a BKS podcast, a Shendon podcast, a No Kills podcast, Mark Bennett podcast, whatever they offer you, take it and make the most of it. Don't just say no. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Don't do that. This isn't a place for none of that shit. This roster needs to bring fire, man. I'm not with this kitty shit, this soft shit. Bring me some fucking fire. I'm demanding every single person bring me fire. I'm calling out the SEAL family. I'm calling out Gorilla Cruz. I'm calling out Cerberus. You know what I mean? I'm calling out Maverick. I'm calling out No Kills. No Kills will hit a couple home runs, but then he kind of vanishes like Jaden X. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Holloway, where's the noise? It's kind of quiet in this living room. What's up with y'all, man? Where's everybody at? Corey Flash. I saw Dan Rapture putting some posts up on Facebook talking some shit. Dallas Goldman had a few things to say after I put my boot in his ass, metaphorically speaking. So we got to keep on doing this. We got to keep the noise going. Just because JTV doesn't have a podcast coming up or a show, that don't mean you stop. You got to keep going. Post on their walls. Post on your wall. Keep it going. Marcus Holloway, one thing I like about him is he'll be subliminal. He'll post something weird on his wall. That's something, you know what I'm saying, that you notice. You know what I mean? But the way I would do it is I would hashtag JTV when I post shit like that. Mr. Amazing. What the fuck is Mr. Amazing? Where is he?
All right, well, I'm going to get out of here because it's really bad storm out there, so I got to go.
All right. Take care of yourself. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye, Jaslyn.
Bye, guys.
All right. All right. Take care. Good shit. Good shit. All right, Jaslyn heading out the studio. That was fun. That was dope. I'm gonna go for another 4 minutes with y'all, and I'm gonna close the show out. So I want to make this continue to be more fun. I want to now y'all can ask me questions, whatever you like. I'm happy to answer it. I got a live mic. It's a dangerous game to play with the box office hit, man, because one of the things I'm trying to do this year is be more vocal. Last year, I was trying to be more quiet. I was trying to be more professional, and just because I understand that a lot of people are just timid, delicate, easily offended. I don't do that shit. I'm a grown ass man. I got a live mic. I like to speak my mind, and I love progress. Progress is important. This roster, we got a lot of work to do, brother. And in 2K25, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be exercising every single person. We're going to be getting new deals. Everybody's getting a new deal. And the new deal, they're going to be new, what's the word? Provisions in these new agreements. And if that don't work for you, I mean, that highway is clear of traffic. Go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go right ahead with that. The door's wide open if you want to walk right out. But in terms of the people that want to be here and they want to make something of themselves, I'm going to do my very best. And I give you my word, I'll do my best to try to help every single person that shows me that they want to climb higher in JTV. I've been watching, man. I've been paying attention as a fan. I want to see some more. Devin Kiloa, you know what I'm saying? I want to see a little bit more, man. I don't see a lot of activeness. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a lot going on from Ray neither. Mr. Burke Lawson, the Skull brother, who kind of been a little silent. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm more than happy being signed to MPW, doing excellent work over there. Looking forward to coming back real soon. Big shout out to Chris Conscience, my boy. He been holding it down. Happy that he's over there getting to do his thing, and doing a couple other things on the side that I can't really talk about because I'm not going to put his stuff out there like that. But I'm happy to take some questions here right now while we close the show out. What do we got? I think Shendon had that question for Jaselyn. I'm not sure. So save that for the next time. We got some shots from the elephant in the room. Why would I keep coming at Nixie when all she does is hide? I think I moved on from people who don't deserve my time. I'm better than 90% of JTV wrestlers, just like Seth and Logan. Ouch. Well, that's a real disrespect right there. You know what I mean? But the elephant in the room is vocal. I know that man since back in the day, and I'm looking forward to him getting the cojones one day to finally get on the microphone in the live JTV arena and speak his mind. I think that's going to be interesting television and very compelling. I think it'd be very interesting if I ran out from the booth and kicked him in his balls from the back. I think that'd be more compelling, and it'll make for a great Showdown 6 match. But we don't need none of that. You know what I mean? I'm a thing of the past. I've had a great time. I've had a great career. I could do more. You never know. But I'm excited what I've done. My time's passed. I'm very happy. It took time. It definitely took a lot of time to get that out of my system, but I think I'm good. I think I'm at peace. A couple people have said stuff about, my defeat to Mr. Amazing and whatnot. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I'm happy with my defeat to Mr. Amazing. I definitely lost to the right guy. He's been in JTV for a long time. It's just one of those guys. He's one of those rare jewels that you find in Egypt. You know what I mean? He's just perfect. Need a little bit more fire from him these days, but becoming a dad, I'm proud of him. He's accomplished a lot, done a lot, former world champion, everything, so he's doing his thing the right way. He's sticking to his religion, which is more important than JTV, is his religion. So major respects to Mr. Amazing for that. There's going to be people that are not going to agree with it and whatnot, and that's the beauty. You get to disagree. But the guy's done his shit, and I'm happy that he's the guy that I have my final PvP 1v1 match, not counting the cash in the case that me and Keith Ocean came up with. So what else we got here? Adam Connor, I got a question. If you had to, oh, now we're okay. If you had to return to compete one more time, who would it be against? You could see yourself facing JTV, and theoretically speaking. Listen, man, contrary to the bullshit lies that No Kills is typing in the comment section just to get a rise out of me, which I actually like Seth Rollins a little bit and Logan Paul. They're both fantastic talent. Um, there is anyone on the JTV roster is good enough to get in the ring with me. Most of y'all are good to get in the ring with me. There's a lot of dream matches that I would love to have. I think me and Devin Kiloa could probably I think I could get under his skin and we can have a really good TV match. I think I can have excellent weapons match with you, Adam Connor. You know what I'm saying? Shendon still wants a piece of me. You know what I'm saying? Me getting in the ring with Shendon, I mean, man, Ultimate Showdown or wherever you want to call it. Let me put it to you like this. If me and Shendon had another wrestling match, it don't matter what show that is Ultimate Showdown. Period. If me and Shendon went at it at JTV 19 in match 2, that's the main event for the entire year. You know, because if I was to get in the ring with him, I'd give it all I got. And I've been feeling pretty damn good. You know, I could work another match with No Kills. I know y'all don't know him too much yet. You know, he's a part of the OJTV. But once we start getting these old tapes out, don't think I forgot the OJTV retro tapes that we're going to release soon on this channel. Another good reason to subscribe. Old tapes are going to be coming out when me and No Kills was young, competing in the old JTV, old Flash, old Andy Newsom, you know, the whole thing. I could work matches with him and be happy if I came back. I could, you know, me and Marcus still need a good old, you know what I mean, a good old TV match. You know what I mean? I love to work with Nix in like a strong style, maybe last man standing kickboxing fight. You know, maybe me and him could fight each other in blood sport and what do we call it? The combat sport that we got. You know what I mean? And maybe even fight for the 5-star championship. You never know. Like there's so many people, even the women. You know, after talking to Jasolyn, getting to know her a bit, I could probably work with her and have a good match. You know, you probably won't see Kevin Impact having matches with women like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a certain thing, you know. But I think I could probably work with them, have some good matches, you know, some of the women. But as far as some of the guys, I mean, that's a long list. I love working with the brothers in arms at the Rage in the Cage. Would love to have a TV match with Ryan Seal. Would love to have a TV match with Matt Seal. I really like Brandon Seal. I think he's a talented kid, the mad kid. Man, like I could work good TV matches with him. I like Max Nitro. Max Nitro, very talented. I could work good TV matches with him. Maybe Ultimate Submission with him would be dope. You know, if Cerberus could do a little bit more, I would really like to work with him. I really liked his character early on. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, we really see a lot of him. He's very subliminal and cryptic. We see a lot of him usually when JTV's live. He's almost become sort of like the new Phantom of the Opera of JTV because that's when you usually see him, you know. But and I'm not looking at the roster. I'm going off my head because there's so many talented people in JTV. Johnny Franchise would love to work a TV match with him. You know what I'm saying? And in a chaotic way, I love to work with Russ Walker. I think me and Russ Walker could have a good chaotic match on TV. He stepped up a lot. I give him a lot of credit. I mean, any day I get to kick the shit out of the All-Star kid Corey Flash is just, you know, New Year's for me. You know, so I've beaten his ass more times than I can count, and he's given me he's given my ball head a bunch of bumps too. You know what I mean? So I give him credit. You know, working with him, and I always love working with him because the thing about Corey is that when Corey gets in the ring with me, he has to become instantly a 5-star technical wrestler, you know, and I feel like I bring the best out of him, and we have a lot of good chemistry, me and him. So that's a big question, full of a roster of a bunch of different people in JTV that are more talented than Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, and 99% of the WWE roster right now. That actually do have what it takes to be bigger and better, man. It's just that some of y'all, man, you got to do more. You got to get more involved. You got to take advantage of the comment section. You got to promote yourself. You got to be having my attention. You know what I mean? Jasolyn Havoc got to come on here and talk to us today because she's gone out of her way to do her shit. You know what I mean? And that's how JTV works. This is not an EFED. This is not a league. We don't just book our best buddies on the fucking card and just give them the title. And Shendon has me and him have this love-hate relationship. We have respect for each other, and we have conflict among each other as well. But the thing about him is that, he's definitely one of the GOATs. This is one of the guys that, whether you love him or hate him, and same with Knicks. You know what I mean? I give him credit. Shendon don't want to hear all that, but I give both of them credit because Knicks had to come up a long way to do his shit. Mark has been around for a long time and deserves his flowers. Shendon been holding it down for the longest time, fought for his life to get to the brass ring. Like, you have to bring it in such a way that you cannot limit yourself. You can't sit there and have somebody like me ask you, do you think you're going to be world champion? And your answer is, I hope so. If your answer is, I hope so, guess what? You're never going to make it. Your answer should always be, what are you talking about? Of course I'm going to make it. I'm the number one person in the company. And that's the mentality. And that's what I try to coach here. And other promotions is, this person is going to be top stars. These are going to be jobbers. I don't work that way. I believe in everybody. I still want Mark Bannon to be the world heavyweight champion, but Mark has got to be able to put himself in a place where he's been at, but he has to stay in that place. The place he went to when he wrestled Conval Wolf at ECW, he has to go there again, and he has to stay there. And if he stays there, all you motherfuckers are in trouble. Because he would be the equivalent of what Dean Malenko would have been if he would have been the WWF World Champion back in the day. Or somebody like that. A Jerry Lynn, somebody that they looked at as underrated. And Dean Malenko and Jerry Lynn were never fucking underrated. Neither was the franchise Shane Douglas. You know what I mean? Which Johnny Franchise kind of reminds me of Shane Douglas, I get a lot of energy from a lot of people that I would want to work with in JTV. There's never been a time ever, even back in the day when me and No Kills was running button heads, there's never been a time in the entire history of JTV where you had so many talented people that were trying to do their shit. And listen to what I just announced before Jasolyn left. Nick Kaiken is going to be on the next episode, folks. That's a FAM guy. This is somebody connected. This is somebody known that have been around. You have all these entities, all these huge names that have either spoken to me, know about us, or want to come to JTV because they know that there's legitimacy to this place. There's legitimacy to the JTV World Heavyweight Championship title. There's legitimacy to the Hall of Fame. Ultimate Showdown means something. Somebody's entrance and their entrance music is important in JTV. The way they walk, the way they talk, the decisions that are made, the matches that are booked. Some might argue that every single match in JTV, you could book any match and it's a main event match. Any show that we put out is abuse to anybody else that tries to go up against us. It's a violation almost. It should be almost illegal that we're able to freely book JTV matches and air them live because it's abuse to CAW. Because it's just it's a non-stop high. It's like taking crack, cocaine, heroin, everything at the same time. And it's all hitting you. You done ate gummies, you drinking alcohol, everything. It's all hitting you at once. You're like, holy shit. And God forbid I mention John Skinner, the game changer. And God forbid Keith Ocean he looks in his mom's purse and finds his balls and comes back to JTV. God forbid that happens. Just an arsenal of talent that I'm more than happy to work with creatively or in the ring. And I'm sorry for ranting so much. It's just that you motherfuckers get me so hype and excited. And that's why I love this place so much. Let's see what else you got. Okay, something about DLC question. I'm trying to see. Okay, I'm going to try to answer y'all questions best I can before we close up. Okay, something about DLC. DLC question as a fan. What is DLC? Your favorite JTV talent? Your favorite when it comes to promo? Your favorite as an in-ring talent? Oof. Yeah, Shendon. Okay, I'm gonna try to answer it. Let's see. My favorite JTV talent that I could think of. I mean, right now, um, my favorite JTV talent right now. I got to think about that one because some of y'all, some of y'all like the MLB. Y'all got an off season and y'all got an on season. Who is my favorite JTV talent? Better said would be who would be my favorite JTV wrestler right now? I guess. Man, I'm gonna probably. It's an uncertain response, but I'm gonna say Max Nitro. I'm gonna say Max Nitro is probably my favorite wrestler right now, and it's probably between him and Brandon Seal. Um, favorite when it comes to promo. I mean, the person that I see right now doing this shit with promos is between. Uh, there's three. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Russ Walker, Shendon, and Jasolyn. I'm gonna say those three. I'm trying to think. There's a little something in there. It's a little something in there. I'm trying to think, but I'm gonna say those three for right now. Favorite as an in-ring talent. Okay, so that's well. I mean, you got talent. I already answered that. You think that is underrated? Who do I think is underrated and who do I think is overrated? Hmm. Um. I don't think anybody comes to mind when I think of overrated that's on the roster anymore. There has been people that have been in JTV that have been overrated, but I don't think I can't think of any anymore. I'm sure y'all can think of people y'all think is overrated in JTV, but nobody really comes to mind right now. Underrated, I mean, I don't think anybody in JTV is underrated because everybody gets the opportunity in JTV, unlike a lot of these shows. So nobody's really underrated in JTV or overlooked. I think that people in JTV just kind of bring themselves down by not being involved enough. That's where the underrated, I guess, comes in. They're underrated against themselves because you just got to bring that fire, man. You know, if I got like 10 years back and I wasn't who I am and I was just some jabroni wrestling in JTV, I would be doing everything in my power to get better and fucking beat the shit out of everybody and get the world title. And even if I lost fucking 25 times, the promo would still be the same. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna fight for my life until I get the world title and just not give up. Some people just give up. Oh, I can't beat this person. I quit. I just can't do it. I just can't. Like that mentality is never going to get you anywhere here or in life if you're just going to quit. You know, like there was one guy, very talented individual who used to wrestle here. You know, he was having matches, and when this person was winning matches, everything in the world was fine. God forbid this person lost two matches and they quit. That to me was comedy. You know, there's been talented people, overrated in a sense, underrated in a sense. I'll let you play with that in your imagination. That thought of what I'm getting at. Uh, and is there any other questions? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's see. Question. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm scrolling up. Okay, I answered that. All right, give a shout out to that boy right there, the T man. Great conversation with you earlier, sir. If you're still watching, I appreciate you reaching out to us and showing support. You know, he SWA is his home, but he's still showing love to JTV, and it always melts my heart to get love from other promotions. I don't really make it my mission to hate on anybody else's show or anything like that. I'm always a proponent for taking CW to new heights, and I think that all shows need to come together, work together, because we need to keep CW strong. I don't know how long I'm going to be in CW, but if I was to retire at the end of 2K25, I'm still planning on being in CW involved in some capacity, and just probably still going to do City of Impact and just review other shows and talk about stuff like that and try to get people on this platform. That's kind of like my retirement plan if I'm done. But we really need to stop being toxic, man. We need to stop being fucking childish. We need to start working together, not just in JTV, but outside, some of these shows that be hating. There's people that shouldn't run shows. They have no business being an owner of any kind. And there's people that just need to chill out. I mean, we're all in this shit together. It should be for the better part of CAW. I've always put JTV as the focus, as my focus of what I'm doing. But I've never limit JTV to where I force my talent to be like, hey, oh, you only have to do JTV and this and that. I've always allowed people to be able to go outside of JTV, wrestle where they want to wrestle, because not only do they pick up on experiences, but it helps them in the ring, and it's part of the culture. JTV wrestling is part of the CAW culture. It's not just a promotion that's trying to shut everybody down. And why the fuck would we do that? Look at what happened to WWE when Vince did that, killed everybody off. I'm not trying to kill other shows off. I'm trying to take JTV from this level to that level. That's all I'm trying to do. So from SWA from JTV to SWA, much love, and same to you, Mr. Tyler. Inbox is always open, and if you ever have interest in working with us, we'll be happy to have you here and all that, and we're happy to have you as a supportive fan. So much love to him. I'm scrolling. I'm about to close the show out. 3:16, 3 hours and 16 minutes. We've been live. I'm just happy that the connection's been good. No Kill says continue doing your job and wake the roster up. Like I said, 94% of the roster ain't shit. Like like D'Lo Brown. Oh man, D'Lo Brown's a better wrestler than like most of your current WWE superstars. No Kill, what are you talking about? He's definitely a better wrestler than Booker T. That's for sure. Shannon says, well, yeah, I'm taking time to answer questions, Shannon. I'm sorry if I went on too long. I'm getting ready to close the show, but BKS clock is ticking. The Brotherhood is coming. Oof. Brotherhood gonna have to do a lot more than that to convince me. The message for Bert Lawson, I believe, right there. I'll put that up. I'm not going to share one comment because I'm probably going to get canceled, so I'm going to skip over that one. Let's see. Any more questions? If there's no more questions, I'm about to close out. When I ask as an in-ring talent, meaning you enjoy watching them fight in the ring, that is both talent and entertaining, you favor, you can pick multiple if you need. I think I said a lot of people, that I want to work, that I would work with, or that I see as talent. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep going with that too long. Adam Connor says, who is the greatest JTV champion, past or present, whether it's World Heavyweight Champion or down to low card championship, in your opinion? Well, I mean, we all know the greatest champion is TLK. This motherfucker has done everything in his power to remain champion by any means necessary, no pun intended. He's the current greatest world heavyweight champion, second to Kevin Impact, and I and I think this is excellent. When you talk about the World Heavyweight Championship, No Kills was a strong champion. JTV champion, he didn't get the opportunity to really hold that title for too long to gain that nickname, but he was definitely world champion in JTV's past and was a great champion. So was King Leo. Y'all don't know him. He's from back in the day. Great champion for the longest time. I can't say that I was one of the greatest champions because to me, looking at JTV today, it would have to be that I would have to prove it in this era. And I'm not just somebody that's just going to give myself credit without the proper credentials, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? My era and y'all era is two different eras. You know, my legacy is based more off of my character than actually my matches PvP. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. That's what makes me, I guess, a unique character. But I don't need to mention me. But Shendon, I'm a credit No Kills. I'm a credit King Leo. I'm a credit Shendon as three great world champions of JTV. I think Corey Flash was a pretty good world champion. I think that he's a bitch when he was world champion and decided. I mean, so some of y'all know the story from back then. It was some controversy. Corey was world champion, and Corey, I pretty much fired Corey Flash. Kicked his ass out because Corey disrespected JTV, disrespected me once upon a time. And it was just fucking garbage. Just listening to people instead of telling the truth, and he just listened to people and went off of what people said. But Corey was definitely a great world champion for a bit. I'll give some credit to VIP for finding a way to beat me. He had to almost kill me, but he beat me for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'll give him some credit for that. Wasn't a very great champion, but a milestone was accomplished by him beating me senseless with the steel steps over and over to finally beat me. So respect for that. I'll leave it somewhere around there so I don't go on too long. Okay, y'all saying a bunch of stuff. Yeah, saying a bunch of stuff. Okay, I reached the end of all the questions. I don't see any more questions. I could take like maybe two more if y'all want, but I'm gonna start wrapping up the show. This is the last message that I see. Days and Lee's story been told why it was live. Okay, I don't know what that means, but yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. Y'all got my heart. I feel like I got an opportunity to speak a lot of things. There's some more stuff I want to speak about, but I don't want to keep this running too long. This was for Jasolyn Havoc. Been a great episode. I had a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next one. I think it's going to be next week that I'm going to be talking. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to tell y'all nothing. Tomorrow there's going to be a post coming out. So look out for that on social media. We're going to find out when I'm going to be talking to Nick Kai Ken. So that's going to come out tomorrow. So look out for that on social media. And we're just going to keep doing our thing, man, as we get into May, having fun, making history. So been a lot of fun. I don't want to get off of here, but I should because it's going on too long. So we're going to close the show out. God bless all of y'all. I want to continue encouraging the JTV roster to step up. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to look at me like an evil, manipulative person because I want the best. I want the very best of people. I want the very best for JTV. I'm going to push this year as hard as I can to get us to new levels, but we can't do that if people are going to be lazy. I need y'all help. I can't do it by myself. I need y'all to help me. Kevin Impact is asking for help. Get behind me. We're one team against everybody. We're one team against the world. Whether BKS hates, three-way deadlock, whatever faction is going against each other, at the end of the day, we're the X-Men. I'm Professor Xavier. It's us against everybody else and everything. We need to stand together. We need to work together, and we need to be more considerate of putting JTV first. We need to not always put ourselves first. We need to put JTV first, because if you do more for JTV, it benefits you. And a lot of people not really thinking like that. A lot of people's like, well, if it's not my match, I'm not going to watch it. Well, if I'm not on it, I don't care. You know, I don't care about whatever they're doing. I only care about what I'm doing. It's selfish and it's lazy and it's bullshit. Do more, get involved. You know what I mean? I'm asking for it. Wrestling fans, please don't let WWE creative tell you what's good and bad. You know what I mean? Have a conscience. You know what I mean? Be able to watch WWE programming and recognize who's talented, who's not, what works, what doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit that doesn't work, that's fucking garbage, that people mark out for. And then there's things that work that nobody cares about. And I don't understand why. We live in a really strange world where the real talented people, the real legends of wrestling, don't get the proper respect they deserve. And a lot of people who just don't even deserve to be on TV are pushed like they're the shit. It blows my mind the way this generation works. Please don't induce, don't promote, don't support, don't get behind fucking trash ass creative from Tony Khan and Triple H and all these people that, you know, they're okay. You know what I'm saying? They're all right. They're doing okay things. You know what I mean? The bloodline storyline is not and never will be bigger than the fucking NWO storyline or whatever. It's cute to think about. It was fun. It was excellent. But all those guys are all right. Jacob Fatu is outstanding, but he's okay. You know what I'm saying? He's all right. He hasn't said anything crazy on the mic. He's not charismatic. His move set is not like really fucking fire. Most of these people are okay. So stop pushing shit that's fucking whack. Stop pushing shit that's basic and bland and generic, and actually get behind shit that's fucking makes sense. You know what I mean? Um, you know, that's some of the most positive things that the messages that I can convey to y'all. You know, as far as JTV and as far as wrestling and as far as personal life, you know, don't be afraid when you have fake friends and they're doing shit to your other friends. Don't fucking be afraid to put them in their place when they're wrong. You know what I mean? I've been in that situation and I had to make that decision and it wasn't easy, but I'm proud of myself that I made that situation. And as time went on, I saw everybody else's colors. You know what I mean? Always try to do the right thing as best as you can, you know, and try to stay away from bullshit, okay? So with that said, I'm going to wrap up. Much love to y'all. Top that if you can. And I'm out of the city. Take care, y'all.